The views expressed on the previous
Footy got canned at IOD.
Guests and callers, and do not reflect those of
Ken Charles, the Antichrist. All Nazis all day on IOD, the Nazi station.
The biggest names, the best talent.
Not just right wing,
You're
also
listening
right
to
wing.
Sports
All
Radio
day.
560 WQAM.
Bye, Footy. Bye-bye.
Lauderdale.
George is pretty broken up about it.
I'm crying.
I just ate a weenie because you told me you were hungry.
Yes, I am.
560 WQAM presents The Neil Roger Show. To talk to Neil, dial 567-0560 in Dade and Broward. In other counties, call toll-free
Footy got canned at IOD, in case you missed it.
or pound
He's gone.
560 on your
Beck
AT&T
rhymes with
and
Breck.
Verizon wireless phones.
Is on.
The opinions expressed by Neil, his
All the
guests,
right-wing
or his
a-holes
colleagues
all the time.
do not represent those of
24 hours of
WQAM
right-wing
management,
propaganda.
staff, or sponsors. Now, the Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM.
Hurricane, it's blow.
They're back, your favorite Jewish rock and roll nostalgia band. It's Rosh Hashanah with their greatest hits album, Sock Hop at the Synagogue.
My rabbi said you couldn't circumcise my baby. My rabbi said.
Yes, Rosh Hashanah is reformed to bring you 12 kosher cuts of hop and Hebrew hijinks.
That joy isn't good for Jews.
This album should be in every Orthodox Rockers collection. Rolling Stone gives it 5 stars of David.
Who wrote the book of Job?
Sock Hop at the Synagogue, new from Rosh Hashanah. Available at all record stores. We'll talk price when you get here. Don't pass over this album.
Hey, Happy New Year to all our Jewish friends, both of them. Speaking of that, I don't know if Richard Romer is Jewish. Is that his name, Richard Romer?
I don't know. Is he in show business on TV?
Anyway, he was the one that said your website really blew. The Dow is down
that guy.
276, by the way, 276 points, which is surprising because with the big bailout vote coming up today, you'd have thought, oh, they're going to solve all our problems. The Dow should be up like 1 million points, but it's not. Now, do you really understand, is there anybody, including Hank Paulson, is there anybody who really understands this damn bailout?
Oh, I understand it.
Yeah.
We're taking on all this bad debt that nobody else would take.
In reverse.
Right, correct.
Right.
A whole bunch of greedy people wrote a whole bunch of loans that they knew couldn't be covered, and they made a lot of money on their closing costs.
What's the term they keep using for it? These, something loans. What's the term?
The variable rate?
No.
Subprime?
Yes.
No, to describe them as being very bad, very dangerous, very... I don't know. Volatile? No, not that. Even worse.
Anyway, nobody would pick up any of this bad debt, so they're going to make the taxpayers pick it up.
Taxpayers are going to do it.
So that the rich people can stay rich and get richer and continue,
Can we start with the joke today?
Please.
It's from our Neil at neilrogers.com. Over the weekend, that thing is real quiet. Just get the usual chazarai. Chinese wedding night. A young Chinese couple gets married. She's a virgin. Truth be told, he's a virgin too. She doesn't know that. Have you heard this?
No.
On their wedding night, she cowers naked under the sheets as her husband undresses in the darkness. He climbs into bed next to her and tries to be reassuring. My darling, he whispers, I noticed you first time and you very frightened. I promise you, I'll give you anything you want. I'll do anything, just anything you want. You just ask what you want, he says, trying to sound experienced and worldly, which he hopes will impress her. A thoughtful silence follows, and he waits patiently and eagerly for her request. She eventually shyly whispers back, I want to try something I hear about from other girls, number 69. More thoughtful silence, this time from him. Eventually, in a puzzled tone, he asks her, you want garlic chicken with snow peas?
Ooh.
I thought that was kind of cute. What? Oh, come on.
That
Don't
was
be such a hard ass. That's kind of cute.
It was cute, but ow.
Garlic chicken with snow peas. Anyway, here's the WIOD schedule. As they've, this baloney about Ken Charles and, they were interested in hiring me. Nobody was interested in hiring me, Norma. Why don't you admit it, okay? Because they're not going to put some liberal Jew fag on the radio, especially now just weeks before the election. Isn't the timing of this very suspicious, huh? And they did this the same way they did with Lamont over at IOD. Real suspicious. Just before the election, Sheep Channel, which pretends, oh, well, we're, putting some liberal people on the air. Yeah, right. You should live so long. Bunch of Nazi bastards, okay? Listen to their schedule. Midnight to 5 in the morning, they got Coast to Coast, which I have no idea what that is, and I couldn't care less. 5 to 9 a.m., South Florida's first news, including Jimmy Syphilis, who also, remember we were getting some spy reports last week, playing Mr. Right Wing with his ding-a-ling. Remember that?
Yep.
Hey, Jimmy.
You fairy.
Now, Footy's out. And I noticed I checked the Herald, the Sun-Sentinel. I scoured the internets over the weekend. No press release, just like they did with Lamont. They just have people disappear. Just like they did under previous ownership with Ranieri. He just finishes the show one day and bye-bye. Glenn Beck, 9 to noon. Rush Limbaugh, noon to 3. The Schnitt Show, 3 to 6. Rush Jr. Sean Hannity, 6 to 9. And 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., Mark Levin, who I Googled him. I never heard of him. He's another right-wing, self-hating Jew. All ultra-right-wing all day long, WIOD. I think somebody ought to challenge their damn license. Cheap Channel my ass. You people are ass murderers is what you are. You're lunatics. And, of course, wouldn't you know it, the one topical show that they had on, which was Footsie, as horrendous as it was, and it really sucked, that's gone. Because that's the Cheap Channel method, man. Cheap. Open up a pot and put some syndicated crap on that's in 75,000 other markets. Just open up a pot on the board and put on some syndicated crap. God, they make me sick. To think that we used to work there back when it was a listenable radio station, to think of those days. Mm-hmm. And now, everybody in town, when you tell them about what's going on over there, you know what they say?
WIOD. Oh, I hate that station.
That's right.
Yep.
Except, of course, for some real ultra-right-wingers, like in Little Havana. And they're not listening to them either. They're listening to La Cubanissima. Radio Mambi. Si. Fidel. You know that crap. Mm-hmm. You know what it is. Well, I got a lot of poll results. You want to know why?
Why?
Well, first of all, we Schmidt canned the poll on Friday, and Eric, for whatever reason, decided to put it back on there. When I changed the poll, the one that had vanished resurfaced, and the one for today about the debate came back. By the way, the debate, the consensus is that McCain was a grumpy old man. Yeah. Who looked like he was, a step away from death. He looked like I feel. A step away from death. Here's the poll. I like the show better with 1,103 votes. And so as a result, we'll do mix and match. We should have put that on there. Emails and calls. Both.
Oh, well.
Like the young priest said in Mass Appeal. Both. Remember that line? Mm-hmm. And Charles Durning said, both? And he said, yes. Thank you. Good day. How come I remember the lines from a movie that obscure? I mean, it was a good movie, but... It must have made an impression. Like Godfather was on again over the weekend. Can you believe it? Yesterday I'm channel surfing, and Godfather was on again. Mm-hmm. How many more times do we need to see? And, of course, do you think I would watch that again?
Of course you did.
Yes, quite a bit of it. Not the whole thing. It was the first one, the best one. Let me see if it's on again this morning. The Devil and Daniel Johnston, the assassin. What's that? And I still haven't watched that movie you keep telling me to watch.
Of Mice and Men? Oh, The Departed.
No, not Of Mice and Men.
Don't be fooled by the title. I don't know what your version is.
I don't want to see a movie about mice. Unless, of course, they're bald-headed mice.
It's not about mice.
No, I know that. Crossing.
Hey, I'm all paid for. Maybe you'll change your mind.
Yeah. She's just about ready to get naked, I think. The Best Bad Thing. Meet Joe Black. Oh, that's Brad Pitt, isn't it? Oh. Didn't see it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, is it a bad flick? There he is, blonde.
I've seen 5 minutes of it. That was it.
There's the blonde Brad Pitt. He's okay. He used to be really smoldering, smoking, but he's okay now. He's old. Da Vinci's Inquest, New Addams Family, Tarzan.
For my maps, my plane was totaled.
Oh, what a shame. Cold Squad, The Speckled Band. Oh, let's hear the Speckled Band. You know what year that is?
No.
1931, a Sherlock Holmes movie.
Keeps me up to the mark.
With Raymond Massey.
How did you get on with our friend? Tell me what you learned at the inquest. Nothing very much, really.
Really?
Tell me first what happened. Absolutely nothing of any importance.
That's right. That's just like what's going on here at WIOD. I mean, WQAM. Oh, Woo, that was a Freudian slip. That was bad. Anyway, I like the show better with emails 392. I don't care 371. Calls 337. Out of 1,103 votes. Of course, I don't see any calls coming in yet. How come we don't have any spy reports about Footy?
Well, I don't know. What does that mean? What does that question mean? Spy reports.
From listeners, from people
saying
what?
What? I don't even know what they would say. Hey, Footy's not on anymore? Something like that? Hey, remember that show that nobody listened to? We're still not.
That's
still
it.
Not
Now
listening
you're catching
to?
on, right? Now here's the one that we had originally on Friday. Now Schmidt canned it, so we could do the one about the. Do you like the calls, the emails, etc.? Even though I know it's going to kill me, I just can't stay away from 225 votes is all we got on here because I changed it to the one on the debate. Everybody and their brother's taking a poll on the debate. And every poll that I saw, except the IOD poll, Obama won hands down your pants. I thought it was very boring, the debate. And I think Jim Lehrer, he's got to be 200 years old. He made McCain look like a teenager. He's got, like, wrinkled up old hands, and he's like, I'm trying to get you guys to talk to each other. Say it to him. Say it to, like a school teacher. Like maybe in first or second grade, Jim Lehrer. He is just dead meat. Even though I know it's going to kill me, I can't stay away from beer 35, cigarettes 31, pizza 22, ice cream 22, sugar 18, fried anything 16, cheeseburger 14, fast food 13, my wife's sister 11, spicy food 9, cocaine 9, prostitutes 8, la prostituta, chocolate 6, bacon 6, the track 3, schlotz 2. The schlotz. I won $3,000 Friday afternoon at Woodbine. Are you unimpressed?
Okay, great.
Yeah, I hit $3,000, and it was like a little ingenuity. People who say there's no science to it. Well, there really isn't a science to it, but there was a machine, had 500 sitting on the wheel. Somebody had gotten 500, and I tried it, nothing. I got off of it, a guy puts in a 20, he gets a spin, 1,000. I thought to myself, that's the jackpot machine, man. That's the hot machine. I got on it, I put in $40, and there was $3,000 on the line. $3,000 effing dollars, and they paid me, and I ran out of there. I ran like I had a dead chicken in my pants. In fact, when you come right down to it, maybe I do have a dead chicken in my pants. 632 votes on the current poll. Who do you think won the first presidential debate? Yeah, McCain was growling and grumpy, and he was just irascible, nasty, and he wouldn't look at Obama either, even when they came out on the stage. And shook hands, and Obama was very cordial and grabbed his arm and trying to twist it a little bit, I thought, too. But he wouldn't even look at him. Nasty, grumpy old man. And all he wants to tell about that he didn't win the Miss Congeniality thing in Congress. The same old trite lines, same old crap. Oh, Jim Lehrer, inside the debates with Larry King tonight. Boy, talk about two old toads. Who won? Obama, 349. We got 632 votes. A draw, 121. Didn't watch it, 88. McCain, 40. So 55.2% of our audience say Obama won. 6% say McCain. Don't care, 34. 5.3% of our astute audience. Oh, there's McCain getting out of the, you see that?
No, I'm on a Spanish soap right now.
Oh, my God, what a comunista. Footy got canned, by the way. Did you hear it? Who? Tootsie. Out at IOD.
Sports leader. No portion of this program may be reproduced without the express written permission of WQAM BZ Broadcast Group, Incorporated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And?
That's a disclaimer, Jack.
Oh.
Hurricane f***ing blow.
Now, we're up to our long-distance dedication. And this one is about kids and pets and a situation that we can all understand, whether we have kids or pets or neither. It's from a man in Cincinnati, Ohio. And here's what he writes. Dear Casey, this may seem to be a strange dedication request, but I'm quite sincere, and it'll mean a lot if you play it. Recently, there was a death in our family. He was a little dog named Snuggles, but he was most certainly a part of... Let's go start again. From coming out of the record. Play the record, okay? Please. See, when you come out of those up-tempo damn numbers, man, it's impossible to make those transitions, and then you got to go into somebody dying. They do this to me all the time. I don't know what the hell they do it for, but damn it, if we can't come out of a slow record, I don't understand it. Is Don on the phone? Okay, I want a damn concerted effort to come out of a record that isn't a up-tempo record every time I do a damn death dedication. Now, make it, and I also want to know what happened to the pictures I was supposed to see this week. It's a last damn time I want somebody to use his brain to not come out of a damn record that is that's up-tempo, and I got to talk about a dog dying. Boy, this is ponderous, man. Ponderous.
I think he's a suicide bomber myself, Casey. Watch out for him. Don't you?
Indeed.
Casey Kasem.
He's an
I haven't played
A-Rab.
that in a long time. I'm playing a lot of old stuff today.
Good. I love those.
Yeah. Tracy and Kendall says, wanted to let you know I saw... Oh, the word is toxic, by the way. Toxic loans.
That's it.
Yeah. That's what they're all calling it. Toxic loans, which just the word in and of itself in relationship to anything financial just makes me cringe.
By the way, since she's listening, hey, Tracy, email me. I need to talk to you.
What?
Tracy and Kendall.
What do you mean you need to talk to her? What does that mean?
I need to talk to her about something.
What?
A little something.
Yeah.
Want to do some business with her.
Yeah, I'll bet you do. Monkey business. Wanted to let you know I saw Rick Shaw at the old car show, Tracy says, in Hollywood last weekend. I wanted to greet him and mention I heard him on your show, but he had a ton of fans around him. Have a great day. Love you, Tracy and Kendall. Thanks, Tracy. Too bad you didn't get to see Ricky Ticky. Don't look at him up close, though. He looks at least 200 years old. He's a great guy, though. You know, this is, if you don't chuckle at this, now maybe you already heard this.
Maybe.
Jim and Kendall. Lost churches in New Orleans.
No.
One of the local TV stations in southern Louisiana aired an interview with a woman from New Orleans. The interviewee was asked if the complete devastation of the churches in the area had affected their lives. Without hesitation, the woman replied, I don't know about all those other peoples, but we haven't gone to churches in years. We get our chicken from Popeyes.
Oh, that is great. That was good.
That's what I thought, but you didn't laugh.
That was awesome. I am laughing.
I thought it was hysterical.
I'm beaming. I got a big
old look on the interviewer's face was priceless. We haven't gone to churches in years. We get our chicken from Popeyes.
All right.
All right.
Good choice. Woo! It's no Bojangles.
No, it's no Colonel. Now, let's see. Here's one from Sal, who's trying to redeem himself. Chronic Sal, you know, Sal Biondo.
Mm-hmm.
Who used to play third base for the Oakland A's. Sal Bando, get it right. And Gene Tanache. Those are the days, baby. Reggie Jackson and the guy Raleigh Fingers with the handlebar mustache. Let's live in the past because the present really sucks. Sal says the funniest thing I ever heard Neil say was when George asked him if he had seen the movie A Fish Called Wanda. His reply was, no, but I saw a fish called Moishi Pupik. Why is that so funny?
I don't know.
It's not nearly so funny as we haven't gone to churches in years. We get our chicken from Popeyes.
No, few things are.
I can't say why exactly, but this struck me as the funniest thing, and I laughed out loud. Never forgot it. Email's the best thing that happened to the show. Sorry about the chronic Obama stuff, says Sal. Good. Quit with the chronic stuff about Obama and Palin and ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, you know. Now, several people send me the thing about toxic. That's the only reason I remembered it. Instant email, instant response. Nobody called to tell me that, though. QAM, Footy line, hello.
Vanille.
Yes, sir.
I love your show, but it has way too many commercials.
Yeah, that's what keeps it on the air.
Yeah, but I mean, your show.
In addition to which, this show's got far fewer commercials than any of the other shows on this station.
But if your show was on satellite, nobody would listen to Howard.
But the show ain't on satellite.
Go to satellite. Oh, I'm sorry, I used bad grammar.
Go to hell. Go to satellite.
Here we go.
Yeah, let's go to satellite.
Hey, we're on satellite.
Go to hell. That's my response. Now, some people will say, that was a terrible response. The guy's trying... No, he's trying to be a jerk.
That's right.
Go to satellite.
Go to hell.
In addition to which, we're doing just fine last time I checked. Not like we used to, but then again, the show ain't like it used to be, and that's because we work for a bunch of scared, cowardly, like the Cowardly Lion. Bert Lahr must be in management somewhere. Did I ever tell you I interviewed Bert Lahr on a station in Ypsilanti, Michigan once?
You did?
At a shopping mall at a Kmart. Did I ever tell you that?
And? Did he sing for you?
No, it was very boring. Oh, my God.
Oh, that's too bad. I would have insisted that he sang.
He did not sing. And to be honest with you, I didn't even know what the hell to talk to him about. It was okay.
Oh, you talk to him about that movie,
What happened at the start of reading about dead people?
Huh?
Oh, for Paul Newman, you know. Get out of here, Brandon. Stop trying to direct the show, Brandon. Gosh dang it. I hate that. Everybody wants to be the program director. Do not see Burn After Reading. Eagle Eye was really good. Have you seen the movie Obsession? Obsession isn't a movie. Obsession is propaganda is what it is. Have I seen the movie? What about cigars on that poll? Oh, this is just all over the place. Oh, it's from Gugats. Get a life, Gugats. Go away. You're an idiot. Here's one. It says, how about them canes? They suck. Yeah, that's what I said. The canes suck. They blow. Now, what was I saying before I got bogged down in that crap? Something very important.
Bert Lahr.
Oh, yeah, Bert Lahr in Ypsilanti, Michigan. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? Listen, I just wanted to say I watched the debates the other night.
Yeah.
And honestly, I had been leaning towards voting for McCain because I didn't think that Obama has really the experience or anything like that. But I tell you what, ever since McCain picked what's-her-face to be his running mate, and to see her just falling all over herself and to understand how little she really does know about politics in general.
She is toxic. Toxic.
Yeah, and also just to see the way that Obama was so much better than McCain was in the debate.
Why does that surprise
McCain
you?
never even looked at him once, I don't think.
Why does that surprise you? Obama is articulate and brilliant and thoughtful, and McCain is a doddering old fool.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, I was leaning towards him because, I didn't really think the guy would have the experience, but the thing is, now I know I'm going to vote for him because I know that it's at least change is better than what we got, and it's definitely going to be more the same with this old guy. He didn't look at him once during the whole debate, and if you can't look at somebody in the eye, then you damn sure can't trust him.
Okay.
So
vote several times. Uh-oh, there he goes again. WQAM, hello.
Neil, I love
Yes.
you. I miss you, man.
Yeah.
How's everything?
What do you mean you miss me? What does that mean?
I don't know. I just miss you talking to you on the phone. I'm a long-time listener.
Mm-hmm.
And, I guess one of those low-life people, I guess.
Evidently.
Oh, well, have fun. The Hurricanes do suck. The only wish for the Dolphins will win.
Let me tell you, call the sports shows, okay? Call and talk to them about your sports crap. Boy, he sure is surly today. I'm not taking any more crap. Didn't I say that on Friday?
You did.
I didn't forget about that over the weekend.
Good. Keep going, eh?
You goofballs who got nothing to say. Oh, the Canes really suck. Yeah, we know that. Okay, they suck. They stink. El Stinko. So Paul Newman died.
Yeah.
He really, they showed, over the weekend, they showed 2 appearances on King. Larry?
Uh-huh.
One where somebody was filling, I think it was Tuesday Weld, or maybe it was Wednesday Schwartzman. But anyway, he wouldn't say anything. And they're asking him about his lifelong marriage to Joanne Woodward and their romance, and was it love at first sight? Oh, I don't like to talk about things like that. This was 25 years ago, and he still looked 100 years old. And then they asked him what was his favorite movie that he ever made, and it's like having 7,000 children asking which one is your favorite. He didn't want to say anything. I'm going to go out and buy some Paul Newman's pasta sauce today, just in honor of his passing. Not
the best talent.
I'll listen to that salad dressing.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Newman's Own.
Yeah. The biggest name. The best talent. It's the big dog, Joe Rose. Weekday morning, 7 to 10.
Where South Florida sports
always matters.
Always matters.
Sports Radio 560 QAM. The sports leader.
Yeah. M-O-N-D-A-Y-S-U-C-K-S.
I was attacked by the monkey man. He went and maimed my friend Punjab. Oh no, I don't feel safe in India. Oh, I'd rather be in New York and drive a cab. Thank you, my friend. Oh, thank you, my friend.
Okay, it's 10:31 at QAM. Boy, I'm telling you, I'm getting some real swill on this email. Not a whole lot either. Neil at NeilRogers.com if you have anything to say. Although they won't because it's a Rosh Hashanah tonight. And you're probably thinking, well, what does that have to do with anything? And the answer is, no, it doesn't.
That's a good excuse.
It's another good excuse. Well, we got nothing to say. We got to go to celebrate Rosh Hashanah tonight. And then pretty soon What?
I use it as an excuse.
Yeah, well, if it's New Year's tomorrow, I'm not going to be here, I guess.
Uh-oh.
What?
Well, I got to take it off, too.
Yeah, and Chris ain't going to work on some Jew holiday. Now, these are the high holidays as opposed to the low holidays.
Right.
I haven't had one call about Footsie, not one spy report.
I still don't know what that would sound like.
It would sound like somebody who's an IOD listener saying, Lamont disappeared. Oh, that's right, there aren't any. I forgot. You think we got problems, which we do. 24 hours of right-wing propaganda on what used to be a major radio station in this market. Boy, how this business has turned toxic, if you ask me. I think that word is a good catch-all for anything.
Sure.
Anything that's like negatory, like Sarah Palin, like I said, she's toxic. And the debate, McCain appeared toxic to me. Grumpy old man. I thought it was boring. I didn't think, I thought Obama was okay. He was articulate and he was knowledgeable. And, and he gave him some crap about the war in Iraq and you were wrong and you said this and you were wrong. He had like about 10 good moments there.
Mm-hmm.
But generally speaking, I thought it was pretty weak. And especially with that old fossil Jim Lehrer narrating. How come Tom Lehrer, who spells his name the same way, is Tom Lehrer? But this guy's Jim Lehrer.
Mind your business, that's why.
No, I'm serious. How come he can't even pronounce his own name, this old fossil, this old goat? God, is he pathetic. And you wonder why the public doesn't watch the freaking news? Take a look at the idiots who are delivering the darn news. I know. I almost said God dang. Well, it gets me PO'd, man. Like that Wolf Blitzkrieg. I bet you Wolf Blitzkrieg ain't going to be working tomorrow, not on Rosh Hashanah. How much you want to bet? He's Farbissen. 567-0560, pound 560 on the Verizon AT&T wireless line. It's really pretty interesting that we took that poll on Friday, and it was almost even Steven. It was like pretty much mix and match. Emails, calls, both. They don't care, whatever, either. And here the phone is sitting there and as quiet as a church mouse. Nothing. Had the big debate on Friday night. Footy got canned unceremoniously at WIOD and shown the door because Ken Charles is the newest assassin working for them. The assassin, like Pete Bolger used to be. Just because they got rid of one assassin don't mean they don't bring in another one. Just like the mafia. Oh, and the latest byproduct of the widening global financial crisis, Citigroup will acquire the banking operations of Wachovia in a deal facilitated by the FDIC. WQAM, hello.
Good morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Do you think this bailout is the October surprise?
No.
No? What do you think about the bailout?
I think it's a September surprise. I think it's a ripoff of the American public.
That's what I think. All right, Neil, you have a good day, sir.
Okay, bend over and get the Vaseline. Citigroup will absorb up to $42 billion of losses from Wachovia's. They're going to watch over your money. $312 billion loan portfolio. With the FDIC covering any remaining losses, the government agency said today. Citigroup will also issue $12 billion in preferred stock and warrants to the FDIC. So Wachovia bailed out. They sold out to Citigroup. Wachovia money. I could say something, but I won't. I could say a lot of things, but I won't. Because it would be toxic.
Ooh.
700 votes on the poll. Obama 55.8%, McCain 6.7%, a draw 18.4%. Every poll that I saw, overwhelming that Obama won. And again, not because he was so great, but because McCain was a grumpy, nasty, hostile, temperamental old coot, a curmudgeon. Hostile. Uncivilized. And toxic. WQAM, hello.
Greetings, sir. How are you?
Yes, sir.
Good. Thank you for
Happy
taking
Monday
my
to
call. And happy Tukas and September and all that.
Happy Tukas, yeah.
Yeah, I watched the debate. That was pretty coma-inducing, and I think the Democrats are pretty happy that Obama held his own in a foreign policy debate, which was mostly about money, from what I heard.
How come McCain couldn't pronounce Ahmadinejad? He tried 4 or 5 different times. He still couldn't pronounce it.
When he loses the election, maybe he can become the new spokesman for Dentugrip. How does that sound?
Yeah, he can replace, what's her name, Martha Ray. She's dead.
Florence Henderson. Well,
right. Maybe he can do some Western oil spots.
But I'll tell you what, if no one else noticed the morons that populate the House of Representatives, there are plenty on both sides. Nancy Pelosi is an embarrassment.
Man, she is a nasty, toxic bitch.
Yes, another one, yes. but she's got no excuse. I mean, she should have been put into Bush for the last 2 years, and she's been a coward. And that
No, you got her confused with Janet Reno.
That John Boehner, that leather-skinned, reeking Nazi, I can't stand him, and I don't know who he represents, but the average IQ
I don't want to change the subject because John Boehner is boring, but let me just ask you this. What do you think about a major market station in this market going all ultra-right-wing all day? What kind of crap is that?
Well, you know, once again, they have no clue because the ultra-right wingers in this town don't speak English. So
Right.
what's the point?
Yeah.
You know?
I hope in the next book that IOD owes points.
Well, that's probably what's going to... Well, you know, they've ruined that property ever since they've had it. I mean, good Lord. Buddy Bud was the first one that... The two biggest...
Hey, Buddy Bud was a genius compared to these bastards. He was a freaking genius.
Yeah, but
these people are downright toxic.
The two biggest assets they had there were you and the real estate, and I think they kind of blew both of them, right? I mean, it's a mess. It's just a mess. And all you have to do is... listen, I have Sirius. From 10 to 2, I listen to you. The rest of the time, I've got Sirius on, and life is good. You know what I mean?
Are you serial?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. Well, listen, Sei Gesund.
Sei Gesund.
And good yontif to the pontiff. See ya. Happy New Year to our Jewish friends. It's Rosh Hashanah at sundown. Baruch atah Adonai. Let's have some wine. Berei pri hagofen. Whatever the hell that means. Blessed is the wine is what that means.
Does it?
Did you know that? Yeah.
No, I do not.
Blessed is the wine.
Berei
Try
pri
the wine.
Say that again.
Berei
What's a
pri hagofen.
Berei pri hagofen.
Not to be confused with Berei pri hagoyim.
And that means try the wine?
That means try the wine. I never drink wine.
Blech.
Godfather was on again. Did I mention that 400 times?
Yes.
It's starting to get a little bit toxic the way they keep showing it over. I'm going to be using that word for everything now.
Why not?
Toxic loans. Toxic loans. In other words, the stench, the aroma, putrid, stinking like elephant manure, like kangaroo crap.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
The biggest names, the best talent. It's the Mad Dog, Jim Mandich. Afternoons 4 to 7. Sports Radio 560 QAM. The sports leader.
Oh, God.
My choice for the vice presidency is Senator Dan Quayle of Indiana.
The American people will judge me on what I say.
How'd you like that pause there?
The question is whether we're going to go forward to tomorrow or we're going to go past to the back.
We don't want to go back to tomorrow. We want to move forward. Some changes and some tough choices before we go to deployment on the Midget Man missile or on the Minute Man, whatever it is. I believe that I've made good judgments in the past, and I think I've made good judgments in the future.
And the future will be better tomorrow.
Because there's a safety factor, but I think these things, and then also I am one who believes we've got to go the extra mile in being sure.
There is nothing that a good defense cannot be a better offense. In other words, a good offense wins.
Oh, no, tainted chocolate candies, Cadbury chocolate recall. Oh, the worst news in history.
Worked along.
Taint what you think it is.
And I'm proud to have been his partner.
Oh,
is it toxic?
Milk. Toxic milk.
And we've had triumphs. We've made some mistakes.
Toxic loans.
We've had some
toxic candy. Toxic milk.
To say that the undecided
toxic
can
news.
Go one way or another. Fluency in English is something that I'm often not accused of. If you want a friend, Get a dog. You want a friend? Get a dog. Winston Churchill was not a great student. FDR was not a great student. Admiral Halsey was not a great student. Superman was not a great student. Davy Crockett was not a great student. And Dennis the Menace finished last in his class.
Kind of like John McCain. 10:46, 14 before 11 at 560 WQAM. Here's the lineup for today. We got the Big O back at 2 o'clock.
Rock solid.
In spite of incredible public outcry, they're demonstrating in the streets right now. Mad Dog 4 to 7. No more of that 10-minute infomercial thing anymore. Because the Marlins season is over. Am I right, Chris?
Correct.
It's over. Now, did they beat the Mets again?
Yes, they did. They knocked them out.
Wow. They knocked him right out of the playoffs. The Mets choking and gagging like that. Good. Good. Any New York team that chokes and gags. And the Yankees didn't make the playoffs either. What a shame. Not. Mad Dog 4 to 7. Then we got Dolphins tonight, unfortunately 7 to 8. And DA, who's got his own website with a lot of naked chicks on it, or close to naked, 8 to 11. Have you looked at his website?
No.
I think you'd be impressed.
What is it?
DA.
You can get to it from QAM also.
Yeah, you can go on QM and click on the link.
How come QM doesn't have a link to our website on there?
Because they don't want to be associated with Neil Rogers, that's why. Or Jorge Rodriguez. And especially not with that fat-ass Chris Whalen. They don't want to be associated with his fat ass. And you want to know why?
Why?
He's toxic.
Oh.
Tommy T says, as I was watching the debate Friday night, McCain was on the attack with every question asked. And did you notice he wouldn't turn and face Obama all night? Yeah, I did notice it, Tommy. That's why I mentioned it about 50 times, that he wouldn't even look at him. He didn't have the balls to look him in the eye like a real man. He kept looking straight ahead like a doddering old fool. I fully expected him to start drooling and, like, fall down, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do it, though. That's what I thought was his strongest point, just like Reagan in his debates, was that he actually stood up the whole hour and 40 minutes. And if he said, Mr. Obama, don't seem to understand one more time, I was locked and loaded on my TV. Obama was to the point, answered the questions much better than McBush, I thought, said Tommy T. That's what the overwhelming majority of people thought. Now, here's a guy, Neil, that guy who called is right. The commercials on your show are the most obnoxious. And this guy's ripping the commercials. That's what pays the bills, okay, Pally?
Right.
That's what pays the bills. So don't give me a song and a dance about that. Also, where you were complaining, WIOD is 24 hours right wing, but WINZ is 24 hours left wing. And if you're going to call Scare America left wing, it's like vanilla pudding.
Mm-hmm.
It is, as opposed to the right wing crap on IOD, which is toxic. Toxic right wing propaganda. Glenn Beck and Rush and Schmidtmeister and Hannity. Oh my God. Joseph Goebbels would be so proud, and that would be his flagship station, IOD. Also on the Drudge Report poller who won the debate, McCain won 70 to 30%. Well, what a surprise that is, huh? Wow, what kind of people read the Fudge Report? I don't even look at it no more in at least a year. Only right-wing crazy people who are toxic, whose brain is turned to jello. Lime jello. They left the S off lime jello, slime. Are you cracking your knuckles again?
Yes, I am, and my
What
neck.
a maniac. It's not
And my
bad enough
back.
that you eat on the air, but now you're cracking your knuckles. I might have another wiener, as a
I
matter
like
of
crack.
fact. Yeah, he's got a crack problem. 733 votes on Chris's poll. We better get to 1,000. I'm leaving it on there for a while, maybe all week. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, how you doing, Neil?
Okay.
Nice to hear from you. Happy holidays, happy and healthy to you.
Yeah.
Quick question. I didn't notice that anybody pay attention on the circumstances of the...
Is this a real accident or is this a fake accident? And if so, how long have you been working on it?
I'm sorry. I'm on the cell phone. I'm always driving by. I'm listening.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I'm surprised. Nobody paying attention and nobody dig up on the circumstances of his first marriage. The first wife and the way how he abandoned it, woman who was waiting for him.
Well, if nobody's talking about it, then how do you know about it?
Actually, I read it in one of the latest magazines.
Mm-hmm.
The situation was very, very, very interesting.
Yeah, I know. I've talked about it a million times on this show, sir. If you listen to this show religiously, not just once in a while, not every other Jewish holiday, but if you listen religiously every day, you'd have known these things a long time ago. Sei gesund and good yontif to the pontiff. Baruch atah Adonai. See, New Year's to me is January 1st. You know, the Chinese, they got Chinese New Year and the Jew New Year and all these other... New Year's is January 1st, okay? We live in America, at least some of you do. And even in Canada, New Year's is January 1. And then there was one of these things that said, vote for Stephen Harper because the hurricanes are coming to Canada and God is pissed off. God is pissed off because Stephen Harper is already the prime minister and because it looks like he might even have a majority government in this next election coming up very soon. Stephen Harper. Bush Light. Bush Light. Another real friggin' Nazi. And you want to know why he's going to win?
Why?
Because the Liberals in Canada have the weakest candidates. Paul Martin was as bland as your ass. And this guy that they got now, whose name escapes me at the moment, this frog, Stefan Dion, excuse me. He barely speaks English. He speaks English with a heavy frog accent, like that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like that Depardieu. What's that guy's name? Gerard. Yeah, like that. That's right. He speaks frog English. No speaky English. And you wonder, and he's got the personality of a dead frog, of a guppy. Andrew says, WPBT, PBS has shown this particular episode 3 times over the past 10 days or so. I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it, he interviewed Professor Basevich, Boston U retired U.S. Army colonel, who wrote a book titled The Limits of Power. It was a very insightful interview, even though Basevich is a conservative. He described how we were in an economic decline during the Vietnam War and never recovered, how we built our entire economy on ever-increasing spending and financing schemes, and how this is all now falling apart. He also states that Carter, despite his faults, was the last president to really grasp what was going on with the world situation and gave a frank speech, the Malay speech, July 79, about our plight and how we could get out of it if we really applied ourselves in liberating ourselves from foreign oil dependence, etc. Of course, this honest speech was benchmarking his decline in the polls and in eventually losing the election to Reagan. Too honest for the American public. We're in a malaise. We're in a toxic malaise. Basevich was absolutely brilliant and very blunt and frank about how we're on the edge of collapse due to an imperial presidency. Please check into it a bit more for yourself. Try to watch that episode. It's a real fly opener. Thank you, Andrew. I'll check it out. When in doubt, I'll check it out. In between watching all the tributes to Paul Newman. I know this is un-American to say it, but then again, being the bastard that I am, I'll say it anyway.
What?
I didn't care for Paul Newman. I thought he was highly overrated.
You don't mean that he didn't have eyes that you felt you could get lost in, like this guy was saying on the Sunday morning show?
I don't care what he looked like. He was a very mediocre actor. Who also had nothing to say. I mean, granted, he did a lot of charity, all the stuff from his salad dressings and all his products that went to charity. Great, that's good. But he had nothing to say. I mean, when you're on an interview show and every time they ask you a question, well, I don't like to comment on those kinds of things, and I don't really have an opinion on that. Well, what is that? What kind of a force is that? Oh, look at recruiting Jewish families to Alabama. Daryl Shapiro with a Star of David around his neck. He's moving to Alabama with a banjo on his knee. They're offering money to Jews to move to Alabama. Says Rabbi Linder. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it, all you Yidlach, because once they get you in one place, then bada boom. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. That's all they do.
That's when they'll release all the people from my building here, all the suicide bombers, and that'll be the end of all those Jews in Alabama. That's the way the Goyim work. Get you all in one location where it's convenient. And then bada bing. 750 votes on the poll. Who do you think won the presidential debate numero uno? I can't wait for Thursday night. And I still think that there may be a last... Now, it will be Thursday, October 2nd. Wednesday is October 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that'll be the October surprise, that Sarah had a headache. Or the baby is sick. The baby is sick. What about that little baby? You know, you people with your babies. I know I'm an old fag and all that stuff, but like I was always telling you about people with strollers and they use it like as a weapon.
Yep.
And I had that happen again over the weekend. I was walking somewhere, I don't know, and this idiot with a baby in a stroller, and he's like pushing it like right in front of me, like I dare you to walk, to kill this kid. I should have run right into it. Oops, and seen the little kid go flying, right onto the escalator. And get squished in between all the... What do they call those things on the escalator?
I don't know.
It would have been a toxic moment in that baby's life, I'll tell you that. What do they call them? Steps.
I don't know.
Steps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. I mean, it's not the baby's fault. I'm not blaming the baby, but people that have babies and use them like as props. So you got a baby, big deal. I know how you did it. 755 votes on Fat Chris's poll. He's really energized about that. He knows we're going way over 1,000, and I might just leave it on there again because I ain't got another one for tomorrow. Have you got one?
No, not for tomorrow.
I mean, there have been some polls. Oh, in fact, Paul Sean came through. I think it's him. Is his last name McLaughlin?
That's close, but yes.
What do you mean that's close?
I don't know how to say it.
That's how you say it.
Okay.
He's got poll. Let's see. Which singer has the most beautiful voice? And then he's got a long list here. And at the end, he's got Marty Robbins. Would you say Marty Robbins had a beautiful voice?
That's not how I would have described it, no.
What?
That's not how I would have described it.
Beautiful sounds kind of
gay.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Also, the best acting performance by a singer. And he's got a list. Ludacris in Crash. Eminem in 8 Mile. Oh, 8 Mile. Let me give you people a real good piece of advice, okay? Stay out of Detroit.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
The biggest names, the best talent. You're listening to Sports Radio 560 WQAM. Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
Oh, spam for lunch, 'cause we're too cheap to tip. Oh, spam for lunch.
Raspberries.
Puts hair on your upper lips. Oh! You early birds, you all drive like turds. Drive up north and give the soul a break. Your puppets
Raspberries.
and white. Oh, you cannot hide. We've had all we could take. Oh! Our Canadian food is smoked spam on wheat. Oh, spam for lunch we eat. The I repeat. Indian killer. Oh, spam for lunch we eat. The smoked on wheat.
How's it going, eh? It's 11:02 at 560 WQAM. Those were raspberries, by the way, those sounds in the Guitar Man.
Hip.
Whatever happened to him? Is he still alive?
We go through this every once in a while. He's doing the performing in fancy restaurants thing last time I heard, and up in West Palm somewhere. That's the last I heard, though, and I haven't heard anything new in a long time.
Lunar Moon Base 2 guy says, what about the best sportscaster poll? Remind me, and there's a great poll for tomorrow. Thanks, Lunar Sportscaster, whatever your name is. Lunar Doodoo Bag. Well, this is going to cover a lot of territory. There are going to have to be a lot of names under the greatest sportscaster of all time. Somebody suggested Sonny Hirsch, and as much as I like Sonny and we worked together for a long time, that's got to be just kind of silly, you know? Wouldn't you agree?
Okay. Well, I have no opinion on that.
Sonny Hirsch was the greatest sportscaster of all time?
I don't have an opinion on who is a good sportscaster.
All right, how about Fat Chris there? You remember Sonny Hirsch?
Kind of.
And would you say Sonny was the greatest sportscaster? I mean, if you want to put somebody local on there.
Of all time? No.
Rick Weaver, of course.
Yeah.
Rick Weaver. Not Jimmy Syphilis. You know what how I would describe Jimmy Syphilis' play-by-play?
How?
Toxic. I'm going to put hockey people on here. I'm going to put football people on here. I'm going to put baseball people on here. I'm going to put like that. Who is or was the greatest play-by-play sportscaster of all time? George, I'm sure, is going to have some suggestions.
Yeah, sure.
What? No?
Harry Carey.
There you go. Harry Carey. didn't write him down yet. See? You sell yourself short. Just like nature
God
did.
sold me short, yeah.
Yeah. Well, me too. But in a different vein. Ed in Fort Lauderdale says, people want, it's an article about the nation's biggest Chevy dealership closes dealerships. And people want 4 more years of this insane bullshit government. Neil, help us, says Ed in Fort Lauderdale. Right on, Ed. Vote early and often for Obama. This old toad, this bitter old toad who just wants more of the same crap. Insane McCain, who admits he don't know nothing about the economy. Remember that song, Don't Know Nothing About History?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you should just replace the economy. Put that in there. Who did that? Sam Cooke and Art Garfunkel.
Yeah, and James Taylor.
James Taylor did that too?
I think so.
What a wonderful world. Isn't that the name of the song? Wonderful, what a
I'm
wonderful
going to open
world.
up my player. I'll tell you exactly.
Oh, no. Are you going to play that? Don't know much. And Sam Cooke had the original, which is almost always the best, and it was. Sam Cooke was great. He's dead.
Yes.
Got shot in a motel by some bitch or some, I don't know. What was that story? Maybe you want to Google it. It might be interesting. It's certainly more interesting than Paul Newman croaked. See, the thing today is they take the excitement out of everything, even famous people dying. They take the spontaneity out of it. Remember how many weeks ago we had a thing about, well, in 3 weeks Paul Newman's going to be dead. And in 3 weeks came and went and Paul Newman was dead. Yeah, like that. So what's the, where's the excitement factor? Like when Marlon Brando died, it was like, oh my God, Marlon Brando croaked, you know. There we go.
Don't know much about history. Don't know much biology.
Oh. That's the only one you got?
That is.
Who got?
Herman's Hermits.
Herman's Hermits did this? Herman's Hermits? Oh, my
Apparently they did.
God.
Don't know much biology. Don't know much about science books.
That's it. Although he was Peter Noon. Peter Noon. He was Herman's Vermin. They were pretty big for about, what, a week?
Yeah.
Here's an email that says if you sneak into your local Orthodox shul over the next few days, you can probably get some delicious food, maybe even some potato latkes and grimanas. I never went to a shul where they serve food. Did you?
No, not ever.
Did you ever go to church where they serve food? I guess they have like church suppers, things like that, but not like during services, you know?
Correct.
I don't think on the high holidays they serve grimanas in shul. I could be wrong about that. Haven't been to shul in a long time, thank God. WQAM, Toxic Line, hello.
And your negative attitude is not...
WQAM, hello.
Jay Santos here, working out of the auxiliary basement substation. Like to know that we're putting in a fake... What are you doing? 1057, hold on.
Oh, man. I guess during the lull there, they worked up a whole new routine, huh?
No.
Not. David says, I've sent emails to all those important people in D.C. My idea is to pay off the mortgages of the people who are able to and paying their mortgages now. Yeah, pay mine off. I don't have much left. That way the investment companies who caused this mess would get the money and take the good mortgages off their books. Then they could use that money to repair the damage that they caused. Why are we giving more money to the people that couldn't handle it before? Also, those with mortgages paid would have more spending money, and the economy would have a chance to get better from the bottom up. That's what Obama said, from the bottom up. Not this trickle down. Reagan tried to peddle that 28 years ago. And all that was is just more excuse for... See, this is since I was a little kid. The one thing I learned is that the Republican Party is the party of the rich. Big business and the rich.
Right.
Always has been, always will be.
Give more to the people with too much.
That's right. They're
Makes
Robin
sense.
Hood in reverse. Take from the poor and give to the rich. We've seen how the trickle-down system works, David said. Trickle down so little and keep so much, the little guys must pay up to take care of those who couldn't make it work. Just a thought while crying over what the Republicans have brought to our lives. Love the show since '85, David. Well, good luck to you, David, and Happy New Year. If you're Jewish, and if not, Happy New Year anyway. Can never say Happy New Year too early. 780 on the poll. Boy, if we can get to over 800 soon. Maybe we're not going to make 1,000 today. It's just a survey on the debate. If you don't get to 1,000 today, Chris, we're done. Finito. I'm telling you that. On a poll about the debate? My God, that went on there yesterday, as a matter of fact, yesterday afternoon in the middle of all that football chazarai. National Football League has reached a new level of mediocrity. Turn on any given game on any given Sunday, and what you see are two mediocre teams playing. Mediocre. Just amazing. Well, we wanted to achieve parity where you achieved it. You know, it's like baseball, saying all the sports, mediocre. Like the make-believes. Worse than mediocre. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, Neil, all I wanted to say is I'm so freaking pissed that the Hurricanes lost this week, but the Dolphins, they're going to make up for it, and they're going to kick some ass.
Yeah, keep dreaming. Keep dreaming, sweetheart. Keep dreaming. Keep taking an acid, man. Drop a little now. Drop another sugar cube. Typical South Florida sports nerd. And George is right. I'm going to say it again. Bob McGowan on the Fan, he's a great broadcaster. He's got a great voice, and his whole attitude is great. What he talks about, though, is just coma-inducing. I can't watch it anymore. Can't watch it anymore. They talk about sports garbage, about minutia, just crap. And I ask myself, how could anybody watch or listen to this swill? You know, what is there to say? We lost the game. The Canes lost the game. They blew it. The coach sucks. Fire his ass. Yeah, well, big deal. Is that going to change your life? We got a presidential election coming up in just a matter of weeks, and these people are worried about the freaking Canes. Oh, my God. Get a life.
I have no
Grow
life.
up already, okay? Drop a pair, like Geldy's been trying to do. I don't think he ever will, but... God, we got him back on this radio station. That right in itself tells you how haven't I been predicting the demise of radio for several years now?
Yep.
When you're on the Titanic, you can and you can feel the water up to your armpits. You know there's something ain't good that's happening. WQAM, hello. QAM, hello. Now, whatever happened to we're not going to call anymore?
Well, I didn't believe
whatever
it when they said it.
Whatever happened to that? Yeah. Start taking calls again now. It's safe because we're not going to call anymore. Neil, Granowski, whatever the hell your name is. I hope that his neighbors go over with a baseball bat to his place and just beat the living snot out of his ass.
The biggest name.
Jerome Granowski.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
The biggest name.
The best talent.
It's the DA Show.
Weeknights from 8 to 11.
Here on
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The freaking sports. They still haven't fixed the damn rejoin.
They're not gonna.
Idiot. What?
They're not gonna.
Now, screw you, Clarence.
STD-laden strip joints. Approved by Joyce. Fart sounds. Rejected by Joyce. Online gambling scams. Approved by Joyce. Words containing the word bag. Rejected by Joyce. Erectile dysfunction spots. Resoundingly approved by Joyce. Tuba sounds resembling fart sounds. Rejected by Joyce. Blatant sports-related faggery and sports show hosts encouraging kids to rob liquor stores. Happily approved by Joyce. Fart sounds. Rejected by Joyce.
Oh, I got an article somebody sent me that's just going to set you free, man.
All right.
Don't call it HD. Call it responsive radio, says Caroline Beasley. Oh, my God. But first, Mike and Kendall, who I don't know, Mike. I don't know you, Mike, but you're an idiot. Hi, Neil, for your potential sportscaster poll. How about Don Cherry in his pink flowery jacket? Ha, ha, ha. The question is, who is or was the greatest play-by-play sportscaster of all time? Even George knows that Don Cherry is not a play-by-play broadcaster, okay? Anybody knows that.
That's right.
He sits there and does the same tired shtick during hockey season every Saturday night, every week, the same old, all you kids out there, all you don't ever do that, all you kids, same crap. Tired, ponderous, boring, and doesn't do play-by-play. But other than that, it just, it makes me weak. The lack of knowledge of anything that exists in South Florida, it's an intellectual wasteland. Is there anybody there who knows anything? WQAM, hello.
Hi,
Uh-huh, I know that. Oh, Daron Gronowski, I know that. He was back on the phone again. Let me reach over and shut off the phone. On days when they want to get it whipped up, I'm not wasting my time, okay? If that's the best we can do with this show. Nice going, Jolly Joe. You got the name, you got the phone number, you got the shoe size, you got the
right. We're told
size.
that you don't know how to do a talk show, and that if you
that's right, I forgot
take
about
a class,
that.
learn a
That's
lesson, maybe a seminar or two.
Okay, I'm going to have to take off. Oh, Cadbury.
The confections contain
Confections.
turned up earlier.
Oh, my God. Seriously, somebody just beat him right now over the head with a baseball, with a 2x4 with a rusty nail in it.
Australia, no need for American chocoholics to worry. Cadbury chocolates in U.S. stores are made by Hershey's.
Oh, I see. He's enough to give me the Hershey squirts. Anyway, getting back to this article, this is from the some Naples rag. In a digital age where more people are listening to music through their computers, iPods, and MP3 players, Caroline Beasley, Chief Financial Officer for Beasley Broadcast Group, Inc., has been a force in moving the company's radio stations to HD. Look what it's done for us here at QAM. Oh, my God. Beasley has purchased and tested various HD radios, such as the Polk Audio Eye Sonic ES2, shown on her desk, that allows the consumer to tag songs heard on the radio that can be purchased later through iTunes. HD radio is this is from Naples. What publication is this from? Why doesn't it say? Will you tell me why it doesn't say?
No, I'm not gonna.
Because some of the comments in here afterward, the comments on the articles, they mention my name. So it must be like a Naples publication or something like that. HD radio is the new kid on a very crowded technological block, but it may be your best friend someday if Caroline Beasley's predictions bear fruit. Yeah, she's bearing fruit, all right. Rotten bananas. Toxic fruit. Beasley, Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of Naples-based Beasley Broadcast Group, should know she chairs the National Association of Broadcasters' HD Radio Digital Technology Advancement FARCE, which worked with the developers, equipment manufacturers, broadcasters, and retailers to shepherd it along as far as it's come. We're crawling, definitely crawling, but we're learning to walk, she said, characterizing the technology's recognition. I thought she's talking about the company. But we're not to the running stage yet. Although 1,750 radio stations offer HD from among nearly 13,000 broadcasters in the country, that number's vaulted from a count of 300 in 2005, as she points out. Beasley's statistics say HD radio is within listening range of 90% of the U.S. population. The technology received a recent boost when a stereo-based WGCU-FM Southwest Florida's public radio station moved all its classical music program from FM to an HD2 band in a highly publicized format change September 8th. WGCU has sold 100 specially priced HD radios to introduce listeners to it. How do you like that? 100. Isn't that great?
All right.
And we know there are quite a few people who bought their own elsewhere, said Amy Tardif, maybe 20 or 30. Barbara Steinhoff, WGCU Director of Marketing, has even driven to listeners' homes to help with the positioning of the antenna, but the reaction to the sound, she said, has been universally positive. That makes more than a dozen stations broadcasting in HD. Here, Beasley has cloned all its local stations in HD, which is a federal requirement for broadcasters to use the technology. It's added 2 more HD2 stations, which have independent programming. One, known as Haney's Big House, airs electric rock. Another, The Beach, specializes in surfer favorites. And it goes on and on and on. We're in HD. Anybody out there listening in HD?
No.
No, not one. Not a single one. And this article goes on for about 100 pages. But then, comments from listeners. It says, I haven't listened to a regular radio station in 4 years. Satellite radio is so vastly superior, I won't waste a cent on this HD radio scam. My advice to the Beasleys, if you want people to listen to your stations, cut down on the number of commercials and end the watered-down content. Otherwise, you'll continue to lose listeners to iPods and satellite. Here's one that says, I have to agree. The darn commercials is what makes me stay away from local radio. 10 minutes of them just so we can have 30 minutes of so-called commercial-free listening. Usually the darn DJ yaps for 3 minutes in this time also. Satellite all the way, but I must say they're finding ways to plug some advertising into their program disguised as information. HD will not do to radio what it's done to TV. Naples Tango says, yes, but does HD radio air Neil Rogers? Wow, how do you like that? And, of course, the answer is yes. And then later on, much later on, Richie Rich says, you mean Neil God? He's brought a smile to South Florida at least once per broadcast for the past 15 years. Neil would be even better if it wasn't for that tight-pantied snitch Joyce. And then he writes, Neil Rogers, 5:60 a.m. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Thanks for the promotion, Richie Rich. That's the most promotion I've had in years, especially since Jolly Joe brought his fat ass to town from North Carolina. Am I right? Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
We don't believe in promotion, okay? They have promotion meetings to talk about what we would be doing if we believed in promotion, which we don't. Isn't that the purpose of the promotion meetings?
Mm-hmm.
We have 16 minutes an hour max commercials on this show, which is far and away less, and the only reason that it's 16 minutes is because it's in my contract that they can't run no more than 16 minutes.
Right.
This is the only show on the station where it's in the contract that limits the number of commercials. Otherwise, they'd be running like 25 minutes an hour. 30, 35, $1 a holler. Whatever they could scrape together, because that's all they care about. They don't care about content. Oh, there's Barney Fagg.
The credit in many cases we borrow for car loans.
He definitely still looks like he's sucking on a quince. Boy, there's a lot of stuff coming here. A lot of stuff. Long-time listener, here's a poll idea. The main reason for your home internet connection. Yeah, we've done that. Online gambling, internet porn. Yeah, we've done that. Been there, done that. Thank you so much. I found soap, pomegranate, and mango at my local Publix and love it. I even shaved my love maker, and it felt like a brand new unit. Thanks, buddy, says little Joey T from Cooper City. He's got a brand new unit. Why is it such a big, why is it so controversial? Is it because we got all these manly men out there who insist, oh, well, we only use soap. That body wash stuff is for pansies, you know?
I don't know.
Based on what? It's soap.
By the way.
Yes?
I used that pink grapefruit stuff.
Yeah.
Never smelled fruitier in my life. It's great.
Isn't that good stuff?
I smell like pink fruit.
No, you don't.
Just a wonderful smell. Just
listen to me.
What?
Anybody out there who's resisting it, go into your drugstore or supermarket, wherever. If you find soft soap, pink grapefruit.
Right.
What is it called? Pink grapefruit splash, something like
whatever
that.
It is. Give it a
body
whiff.
wash, and just lift up the thing and sniff it.
That's fine. Smelling it out of the bottle is fine, but when you slather it onto your hot body in a hot, steamy shower, it's like aromatherapy. It's awesome.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go take another shower now.
All right.
I'll see you in about an hour. I'm going to smear it. I'm almost out of mine. See, I keep 3 or 4 bottles, different flavors, you know.
Do you?
Yeah, and people look at me like, what's wrong with you? Why you got all them bottles of body wash? Because I want to, because I can afford it. That's about all I can afford, but I can afford it. And now that I won that money at Woodbine on Friday, I can go out there and buy me a whole bunch of body wash. $3,000 worth. Isn't that great?
Yep.
That'd be a lot of bottles of body wash. 799 votes on the poll. Barack Obama won the debate, they say, 55%. McCain, 7.2%. A draw, 17.8%. Didn't watch, almost 15%. Don't care, 5%. 40 out of 799 say they don't care. I don't care. I don't care. All I care about the Canes lost. They blew the game. They stink. They suck. Yeah, it's going to be another desperate season. I think they play some real teams, too. Don't they have FSU this next weekend?
Yep.
Wow. Now, is FSU any good this year or what?
They're probably kind of like the Canes are right now.
Oh, in other words, they stink.
Well, they just had a big win this past week, but they're still not that great, so.
So it could be another. Now, where's that game?
Here.
Oh. Wow. The pressure. And then that game in San Diego for the Fish. Let's not get too sports intensive.
Well, that game's here, too.
Who cares? You think that's going to help? No emails in the View. I'm looking right now on my Neil at neilrogers.com. Nothing in there. The greatest sportscaster play-by-play of all time. You'd think there'd be like 100 names in there already. Somebody mentioned Van Patrick, who was the voice of the Detroit Lions for 100 years. And he also was the original owner of WSRF in Fort Lauderdale. You know, 1900 on the dial, one of the ones that went all sports.
Yeah.
And went belly up. What was that song by Tommy Rowe? Jammed up tight, and belly on your ass. What was that song? Jam tight, jelly. You know what I mean?
No.
You don't?
I'm looking for
Chicken Eck will know. Chicken Eck will know it. He knows his jelly.
Ain't got no Tommy Rowe.
This is Neil Rogers.
Somebody.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
It's the Big O. Orlando Alzagari. Mornings 5 to 7.
Footy got candid IOD, by the way.
QAM. The sports leader.
Neil Rogers.
God. Nobody cares.
There was an old farmer who
Nobody
lived
cares.
on a rock. He sat in the meadow just shaking his fist at some boys who were down by the creek. Their feet in the water, their hands on their marbles and playthings, and at 4:30 there came a young lady. She looked like a pretty young creature. She sat on the grass. She pulled up her dress and she showed them her ruffles and laces and white fluffy duck. She said she was learning a new way to bring up her children so they would not spit, while the boys in the barnyard were shoveling refuse and litter from yesterday's hunt, while the girl in the meadow was rubbing her eyes at the fellow down by the dock. He looked like a man with a sizable home in the country with a big fence out front. If he asked her politely, she'd show him her little pet dog who was subject to fits. And maybe she'd let him grab hold of her small tender hands with a movement so quick. And then she'd bend over and suck on his candy so tasty, made of butterscotch. And then he spread whipped cream all over her cookies that she had left out on her shelf. If you think this is dirty, you can go yourself.
11:32, I'll tell you one thing, these emails are sure a lot more informative than those calls ever were. WQAM, hello.
Is Neil there?
Speaking.
Hey, Neil, happy Chookus to you there, buddy.
Yeah, happy Chookus.
I don't understand why everyone has a problem with this Sarah Palin. I mean,
probably because she's a moron.
She looks pretty good, though.
Yeah, well, have a good time in the sack with her, okay? She looks pretty good. That should be the qualification for our next vice president and maybe president. Do they look pretty good? Yeah. That's why FDR got elected in 32, because he looked pretty good in the wheelchair. The song Jam Up and Jelly Tight was released in 1969. The lyrics are below. The song states that a relationship is desired by the young man with a girl he met. A relationship. In the 60s, nice girls had reputations to maintain. So even though there was a sexual revolution going on, the girls still didn't act or talk as freely as women can today. The song was considered rather suggestive, and the lyrics are probably hinting at a sexual relationship.
Oh, my God.
How do you like that? Jam up and jelly tight.
I have to go get it.
You got it?
No, so I'm going to go get it.
Tommy Rowe. I was right. Tommy Rowe. What do you know?
R-O-E?
How else would you spell it? R-O-W?
R-O-W. R-O.
That would be really toxic. 808 votes on Fat Chris's poll on the debate Friday night. Had a lot of comment on that. Not. Although I thought I had one here somewhere. Oh, that's right. The guy keeps sending me the same crap. See, if I don't read their email, their stupid email the first time, then they send it in a slightly
it's just
different
like
form.
the faxes, man.
Right. Same thing. If it sucks the first time, no matter how you gussy it up, it's going to still suck the second time, and I'm not going to waste my time or the audience's time either. I'd rather take some great calls. QAM.
Did you hear this guy?
QAM. Okay, that was a good one. Line 9, out-of-town line. Fat Man After Dark, who's obviously got a serious mental problem. My favorite sports announcer of all time is Jim Ross. He was voice of the Oklahoma Sooners and the Atlanta Falcons for a long time. Never heard of him, and neither did anybody else, so I'm not going to waste my time putting him on there. I'm sorry you didn't like my favorite pizza topping poll. It's not as scintillating as what you want to put on a burger, I know. No, it's not. What's your favorite pizza topping? Oh, my God. Maybe next week, Fat Man.
Yeah, don't throw that
These
one away
people
yet.
They're so touchy, you know. Didn't like that. Well, geez, it's not as scintillating. It's not as captivating. That's always my favorite word when they want to tell you, oh, it's real captivating radio, Neil. You know something? There is no more captivating radio. Ken from Etobicoke, right up the road here, says, Happy Rosh Hashanah, and I would nominate Foster Hewitt for your upcoming poll. The only problem is that you and I are probably the only ones who know who he is. George knows Foster Hewitt.
That's right, and Bill.
And Bill Hewitt, and I wrote back to Ken. I actually replied to his email, which I never do. I said Bill Hewitt was 100 times better than the senile old man. Foster Hewitt became the John McCain of hockey. Senile. Oh, I see. I just want to read the top part. The polls are okay, from Sean, who instead of faxing now, he's decided to email the polls in. Isn't that great? What technology, man. He says, could I trouble you to respond with confirmation you got this email? There it is, Sean. I got it. My last several emails to you and George elicited no response. Maybe we didn't get them. Neil@neilrogers.com. Pretty simple.
Sorry.
N-E-I-L.
I meant to respond to his, but I forgot.
I didn't. I don't think I got it. Either they're not getting through or my material blows much more than I thought. I appreciate your responses. The only validation for my life is via the Neil Rogers Show. In other words, what he's trying to say is...
I have no line.
Yeah, we know. I was listening to Art Garfunkel's All I Know, and I thought of what a beautiful voice he had for someone with such tragic hair. Good point, Sean.
Tragic
I really
hair?
like the music of what?
He just had a whole tragic look altogether. His hair was just a part of it.
But it really was the frosting on the cake.
But his voice was like butter.
Yeah. Now, don't we have... what's the name? Oh, here it is. I really like the music of Aerosmith, Avril Lavigne, and Green Day, but none of their singers' voices would normally be described as beautiful, so here's a poll. And then Sean hits us with that. Which singer has the most beautiful voice? Karen Carpenter, Dusty Springfield. Dusty Springfield, she's got a manly voice. Not a beautiful voice. Wouldn't you agree? Manly voice. Oh, come on. She's butch.
I'm not going to argue with you.
She's almost as butch as Anne Murray, but not quite.
Oh, nobody is.
And she's also got a whole bunch of kids. Roger Whittaker. Luis Miguel.
All
That's
right.
the winner.
Roger Whittaker? I'll agree with that.
No, Luis Miguel. Jesse Colin Young. Yvonne Elliman.
Old Durham town.
Justin Hayward of the Moody Blues.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Black. Oh, there could be the winner right there. He is just, wow, what a voice. Roy Orbison. Andy Williams. Andy Williams. Oh, God, I'm crossing that off.
I'll tell you who's going to win.
Karen Carpenter.
Freddie Mercury.
He's not on here.
Well, put him on there.
He's got the most beautiful voice.
I think so.
Freddie Mercury has
Freddie
the most...
freaking Mercury.
Well, I'm crossing off Marty Robbins and put on Freddie Mercury. What about Jim Morrison?
Okay. He'll do well also.
He was left off of this by Sean, who obviously has some life issues. I think Jim Morrison's the winner, although Jay Black. That would be a great fantasy. Jay Black and Jim Morrison in a porno. That would be good.
Yeah.
John Anderson of Yes. I say
no
to that.
No.
Gary Puckett, Marilyn McCoo, Frank Patterson. Do you have any idea who that is?
No.
I know Floyd Patterson. We don't know who that is. I'm crossing it out. Gordon Lightfoot? Oh. Oh, my God. Gladys Knight, the Everly Brothers. They sure were pretty. Barbara Harris of the Toys, Neil Sedaka, and we added Freddie Mercury, and, of course, Jim Morrison, who's still alive.
Biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports lead.
The biggest names. The best talent.
Yes.
It's the big dog, Joe Rose. Weekday morning 7 to 10. Where South Florida sports always matters. Sports Radio 560 QAM. The sports leader.
You're a bastard.
I'm dying over here.
Did you ever think when you eat Chinese, it ain't pork or chicken but a fat Siamese? Yet the food tastes great so you don't complain. But that's not chicken in your chicken chow mein. Seems to me I ordered sweet and sour pork, but Garfield's on my fork. He's purring here on my fork. All right. There's a cat in the kettle at the Peking Moon, the place that I eat every day at noon. They can feed your cat and you'll never know. Once they wrap it up in dough, boys, they fry it real crisp in dough. Chowlin asked if I wanted more as he was dialing up his buddy at the old pet store. I said, not today, I lost my appetite. There's two cats in my belly and they want to fight. I was sucking on a roll-it and a Tums or two when I swear I heard it mew. And that is when I knew. There's a cat in the kettle at the Peking Moon. Think I gotta stop eating there at noon. They say that it's beef or fish or pork, but it's purring there on my fork.
I'm dying over
There's a
here.
hairball on my fork.
Oh, here we go. They're hocking and trying about Paul Newman again. Oh, boy. And he died just before Rosh Hashanah, no less. Isn't that bad?
No.
It's bad. It's like dying on your birthday, like Ma. Oh, here we go.
I would have made some changes in Cool Hand Luke. A lot of guys laying down a lot of rules.
Yeah, I'd have made some changes in Cool Hand Luke. I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have released it.
What happened to the old bank? It was beautiful. People kept robbing it. Small price to pay.
Now, tell me a movie that he made that was a great movie.
I'm going to make me go on IMDb. I like Cool Hand Luke, thank you very much.
Oh! I never forget when you talked me into going out and getting that, and I watched it, and it was just a...
Well, it was actually a listener that talked you out and getting into it. I wouldn't have recommended that movie to you. I said it was all right.
Why is that?
Because I like that kind of movie.
What kind of movie? Bad?
Shenanigans.
He was deprived of any further...
See, I wouldn't have recommended that movie to you. I would have recommended Of Mice and Men.
So it was worthwhile.
He's in that?
No.
Oh.
Go back and find out how Fast Eddie kept being Fast Eddie.
One thing about Paul Newman, man, he aged badly. Probably too much of that spaghetti sauce. Maybe too much of that shallot dressing, you know?
Maybe.
He aged badly. He was 83, and he looked like at least 150. Oh, there's Tommy Cruise. Hey, Tommy.
You fairy.
The Color of Money.
You gotta be a student of human moves. See, all the greats that I know to a man were students of human moves. Students of human moves.
You know what Tommy Cruise looks like in that movie?
Gay.
Yeah. And you know what he looks like in every other movie?
Gay.
Uh-huh. Hey, Tommy.
You fairy.
How's the peeping, Tommy? He is so good. Philip Seymour Hoffman Schwartz. Schmendrick. Frank says, I don't think either candidate was all that impressive, nor did either dominate the other. That's correct. The debate sucked. It was boring. Just seemed to me like they both slung accusations at each other without some sort of confirmation of who was lying and who was telling the truth. There is no way to make a determination of a master debater. Oh. That's almost as funny as Jolly Joe Bell. And by the way, Jolly Joe Bell and P.D. Lenny quit wasting my space on my emails. Jolly Joe sent everybody that email about, how to quit Cox Radio, what was it called?
I don't know. What's it called?
In Style or something like that. Well, just a stupid waste of time. And then P.D. Lenny has got his Happy New Year thing. Did you get your version of that?
No, I'm not on the Jew mailing list, thank you very much.
With the dogs?
No.
With the yarmulke and with the tallis? Oh, P.D. Lenny, just go away. Go away. He's like a tumor that they can't remove, man. You just can't get rid of him. Elliot Kleinberg.
What about
him?
him?
Son of the great Howard Kleinberg. I wonder if Howard's still alive. I hope so. You think Howard Kleinberg from the Miami News is still alive?
Yeah.
The hockey games? Howard Kleinberg, good guy. In fact, Howard fell asleep on my show on WINZ one night. He fell asleep in the guest chair. And I'll be honest with you, with a guest like you, Howard, I'd have fallen asleep too. Just a joke. 5 radio stations play on despite fire and evacuation during drive time this morning. How do you like that?
Oh, my God.
In Palm Beach. Radio listeners are used to hearing blocks of music and commercials uninterrupted by announcers during morning drive. But 20 minutes? West Palm Beach firefighters dealt with a small electrical fire this morning at the office building that houses radio stations WEAT-FM, WIRK, Country KFM, WMBX, WPBZ-FM, The Buzz, and WNEW-FM. WNEW-FM? New York gave up those call letters? Oh, my God. The B. The towers at 701 North Point Parkway near 45th Street and I-95. Here's what you missed in the last 20 minutes. There was a fire in the building, a small fire, but we're fine, one of the DJs at X102.3 said on the air when announcers returned live about 8 a.m. In other words, they bailed. They walked out. When we have a fire alarm at the QAM, whatever the hell it was, we got to sit there. Remember how many times that happened?
Mm-hmm.
We got to sit there. Is this
That's right.
real? Is the building on fire? Are we
it's
die
understood.
like
You go down with the ship if it's your air shift.
You go down with a what? Oh, ship. I heard that fire alarm go off. I grabbed my keys and my CDs. I walked out the door, the DJ said. J.D. Pelletier, host on Country K, said engineers at all 5 stations were able to set automated programming into motion before everyone headed out. We were on the air, Pelletier said. You could hear the alarm going off. He said announcers insisted on finishing a Battle of the Sexes contest, but that then the engineer came in and said, you've got to get out now. Pelletier said employees were told the fire had been on the 2nd floor. They never smelled smoke in their 5th floor studios before they left. But he said when they got the okay to return, when you came in on the ground floor, it was hazy and you could smell smoke. It sounds to me like somebody was blowing smoke. God, what a business. And these people bailed. When you're in this business, you got to hang out. You got to stand. Just like this building when we had like real fire alarms in the middle of the show. Did I ever bail out? No.
No.
Now, make-believe ones, those fake ones, I think I'm going to start bailing out. Haven't had one of those in a long time. Come on, let's have a fake fire alarm. WQAM, hello.
Neil, you look 93. Let's get it in perspective.
WQAM, hello. QAM.
I said you look 93.
Yeah, we heard it the first time. Keep passing it back and forth on the phone, too. 848. See, that's the way they work it. They call, they got multiple phones, and they keep calling the same line over and over and over again. Yeah, oh, yeah. Because...
I have no line.
That's right. I'm going to stick with emails for the most part. I might sneak in a call or two here and there, but they suck. It's the same group of misfits. Oh, but we love the callers, Neil. That poll we took on Friday and over the weekend, that is such a smarm. You know, one word I would use to describe the result of that poll?
What?
Toxic.
Oh. I should have known.
Neil, you are absolutely correct about body wash. When I see a soft, cheesy bar soap mixed with dead skin cells and stray pubic hair, the last thing I want to do is smear it on my body. Right. Thanks for the new scents suggested. I purchased them. We'll try them tonight. Shameless request for Cats in the Kettle, if you can still play it. Gary and Homestead, no extra charge. I just played it for you. By request. How do you like that?
All right.
Pretty nice of me, if you ask me. Because I'm a nice guy. Oh, there go the phones again. Let's see how many of those are the same. QAM, hello. QAM.
Yes, Neil.
Yes, sir.
You probably didn't hear it, and you were lucky you did not. But Saturday, I happened to catch like the last 4 minutes of the Canes game.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I
Joe
heard that.
Zagacki, if you could get a tape of this, you'll laugh your tail off. At the last play, when the pass went through the hands, at the moment that it hit his hands, he yelled, "Touchdown! The Canes have won! No, they've dropped it."
Really?
Something along those lines. It was hysterical, but it just once again proved how inept as a broadcaster he is.
Oh, my! Oh, my!
That's all I have for you right now.
Maybe not the world's worst, but he's in the running. Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah, he's in the running. He ought to run.
But to defend him a little bit in that way,
yeah,
he had the catch, and then it went off of his fingertips, and then the other guy intercepted it. So he did have the catch when Joe called it, and then the guy intercepted it.
Are you sticking up for Josie?
On this one, yes.
You are such... There's a word to describe people like you. You know what the word is? Suckhole.
I thought it was low pay.
Suckhole. Low pay suckhole. His work, and I use that term very loosely, is so pathetic. His voice, he has got... I was going to say a face for radio, but he doesn't have that. Yeah, he's got a face for radio. That's why they call him Old Penis Nose. But he is just grotesque. And, of course, Jimmy Syphilis... Now, that'd be a good poll. Who's worse, Jimmy Syphilis or Joe Zagacki? Or Dave Van Boring? Or Rich Waltz? Oh, I actually saw that thing on TV toward the end of the season. They had one night they were showing him in the press box with some other loser. Oh, my God. Where did they dig this clown up? When I was a kid in high school, I had a Webcore tape recorder, and I would sit in front of the TV and do play-by-play on the game of the week on Saturday. Nobody was home, so I would sit and do play-by-play into my tape recorder. That's what he sounds like, although not as good as I was. And people like Chris refuse to tell it like it is. He's embarrassing. He sounds like a little kid.
Whoa, all I said is that one
He sucks. He sucks. I'm not talking about Joe Zagacki. I'm talking about Rich Waltz.
Oh, I don't really
Waltz.
watch it. I don't listen to it that much.
Well,
I put
why
it
not?
on, I watch a couple innings maybe, and then I'll turn it around.
Well, a couple innings should tell you how bad he is.
I think Rich Waltz is better than Tommy Hutton, so.
Tommy Hutton is great. You have no
Tommy
clue,
Hutton
man.
has never
Tommy
told you
Hutton is
something
one
you
of the
didn't
best
know.
color man and commentators in all of baseball.
Tommy Hutton has never said something that the layman didn't already know.
Oh, my God. You're knocking Tommy Hutton. You ought to be... Seriously, we're going to have an execution on the air maybe next week. I'm going to fry your fat ass. Can you talk about a fire in the building? Can you smell the aroma of that, George?
Grease fire.
600 pounds of smoking, boiling grease.
Jam up
All right. Is it Tommy Rowe?
Yes, it is.
Jennifer W. says check out our webpage and see about Viagra Soft tab.
Say what now?
It's another Viagra spam. Soft Cialis, soft Viagra, and all these other soft things.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
The biggest names, the best talent. You're listening to Sports Radio 560 WQAM. Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
This is Coach Don Schuler, and I sound like Bob Hope on acid. And I want to tell you, it's the 12 to 1 hour or whatever it is.
Hey, man.
Hey, who's this?
It's Jeff. Hey, I was in your restaurant, and it smelled like Up Dog.
What is Up Dog?
I don't know. What's up, G? Yo, yo, yo. Get it?
No.
Okay.
Richard speaking. Would you like to place a catering order?
Hey, Richard.
Yes.
I was in your restaurant, my wife and I, and she was commenting, as I was, that it smelled like Up Dog.
Like what?
Up Dog.
What is Up Dog?
Nah, what's up with you, G? Get it?
Arriba, hello?
Yeah, hi, Gesundheit. Hey, I was in your place, and it smelled like up dog.
What's up, Doc?
Not much. What's up with you, G?
Yeah, what's up, dog? What's happening, dog? Yeah, not much, yo.
I'm busy. What you want?
Your place smelled like up dog.
Okay, bye.
Get it? Yeah, hey, how are you?
Good.
Hey, I was in your place, and it smelled like up dog.
What is up dog?
I don't know. What's up with you, G? Get it?
Oh, we just saw Barney Fag again, and he still looked like he was sucking on a quince. 12:02 at 560 WQM. Happy Monday, happy Rosh Hashanah, happy New Year. Even the Goyim out there can celebrate New Year tonight at sundown. You going to celebrate?
Yes, I am.
Rick says, hasn't TV made play-by-play redundant? There are no play-by-play guys, only color commentators. That's true, and most of the color commentators, especially on football. They got that big table. They all sit around. There got to be at least a half a dozen of them, and they talk a lot of crap. And they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And half of them can't speak anyway. I noticed Shannon Sharp is still on my TV. I'm going to have to do something about that. How can he still be on there? Chris?
Because they like him? I don't know.
Who likes him? Do you like him?
I don't like him. I don't even watch that.
Can he speak? Can he articulate?
No. But I don't watch that, so.
No, neither do I. But every now and then I'll be flipping around. I'll see it and I'll think, oh, not another one of these pregame ass slap fests, grab ass, and there's Danny Boy. Always had that same stupid grin on his face because Wayne sold him that stock real cheap. Remember that? What was the name of that? Was it not Auto Nation? It was before that. What was it? Republic? Was it Republic Industries?
No, the waste one.
What?
The trash place, wasn't it?
Republic. Where the hell did George go? Is he doing?
I'm right here.
Is it Republic?
It was something like that.
Well, whatever the hell it was. Shula and Danny Boy got in on the ground floor of that, and they got to buy that stock for like $2 or $3 a share, and it went up to like 100 or something like that. That's always what I want to see is millionaires getting a real good insider deal like that. You know, they needed it. Dafta Zevi Alochenkop, as Shula used to say.
That's right.
Ron says Newman's finest film was somebody up there like me. Rocky Graziano's life story. Isn't it somebody up there likes me?
That's what I thought.
Rocky Graziano. Yeah, Paul Newman was all right. I mean, I'm not saying he was a bad actor. He was just much ado about nothing. He was one of the first Hollywood pretty boys, with the blue eyes. I didn't think he was all that pretty, to be honest with you.
Waste Management Incorporated.
Whatever the hell it was, and that's not right.
I'm thinking Republic Industries or something like that.
Yeah, Republic Industries was the name of the stock, okay? I know Waste Management, that was Wayne's business. Don't be knocking Wayne now. It's in our deal with the Dolphins. We aren't supposed to be knocking Wayne. Oh, I can't believe you said that about Baldy. Too bad. Your team sucks, by the way, Wayne. Oh, but that game against the Patriots, against a team that was like all injured with like a high school quarterback playing. Give me a break. Give me a breath. Jeffrey says, since apparently nobody else in your audience watched the freaking debates on Friday. No, they don't have much to say about it, Jeff. I figured I'd share my thoughts with you. McCain was thought to have been a clear winner in this, being that it was mostly about national security and foreign policy, but Obama more than held his own. I think came out slightly on top. If the American people can't see that this man can easily lead us back into prosperity, then they clearly have their heads up their collective ass. I don't think anybody can easily lead us back into prosperity, Jeff. So as much as I'm all for Obama, I think you're dreaming. I think you're allowing your prejudice to color your vision. You know what I'm saying, George?
What are you saying?
He says he can easily lead us back to prosperity.
Not easily.
No. In fact, don't you understand? That's the game plan. They're going to leave the mess in Iraq in his hands. They're going to leave the economy like on the verge of collapse.
How about
Here
just
you go, Barack,
not going deeper into evil? How about that for a start?
Yeah,
Baby steps.
He can bring us back from the abyss, from the toxic abyss. What I thought was most interesting about Friday's debate was McCain never addressed Obama directly, and Obama spoke directly to McCain at least a dozen times. McCain never even looked at him the whole debate. Neither man made any huge mistakes, although I'd really be interested to see a complete breakdown of what actually was said compared to what actually is true. For example, McCain's nice little story about Eisenhower writing 2 letters at the end of WW2, one of which was a letter of resignation, is not true. He did write a second letter, but it was not a letter of resignation, but that's minor. And I'm more interested in what each said about the other, about future policy and the records in the Senate. Not to mention, I think the shots Obama took at McCain were head-on, and McCain at least 4 or 5 times seemed to stick in a jab that came as very condescending, as if Obama didn't know what the hell he was talking about, which I thought was very disrespectful. That's right, he treated him like a child, like an old codger lecturing a child. between him and Jim, what's his name?
What's his name?
The moderator, Lara.
Oh.
Between the two of them was like two doddering old fools talking to an articulate, interesting guy. Who really, I love the way Obama kept like smiling at Lara like, oh my, you believe what this old coot is saying, you know? Not once did Obama talk to McCain like he was an idiot, but McCain did that on several occasions, especially accusing Obama of not knowing the difference between strategy and tactics. Overall, I think Obama won the debate hands down, even on some of his weaker issues such as foreign policy. He held his own. He definitely has the brain that'll help America's stock back up around the world. Oh, he doesn't mean like investment stock. He means our stock collectively as a people's. And reinstate the respect this country deserves. Why do we deserve it? Why do we deserve respect?
Because it's us.
We invaded a sovereign country. We're still occupying it. It's okay for us to have all the nukes that we want, and we sit around and tell everybody else, oh, and then I just love McCain's take on Russia. Let's see. First he's going to bomb Iran, then North Korea, and now Russia's on the radar. You think Bush had a bunch of evildoers, the asses of evil. Anyway, it says, after all, it's about the people, not the politicians. Just my 2 cents. Says Jeff from Orlando. Thank you, Jeff. Some good points. And then again, a little bit of a blue sky. Obama's got the magic touch. So says Jeff. The Dow's down 253. I just touched it, and it's still down 253. I touched it. Look at that. The average is under 11,000. It's 10,888. Whoa. Here comes the bunny, and there goes your money. I told you, don't invest in stocks. God, I've been telling you that for years. And then that moron they used to call, oh, the S&P is up, Neil. Yeah. I hope he lost every dime he ever had. I hope he's on freaking food stamps. Let's see. Didn't I have the story yesterday or Friday? Sex with sheep doesn't warrant as a sex offender?
That's what you said.
And there's a bunch of other stuff on here. Thank God for the emails, man. The callers continue to suck. I'll show you. WQAM, hello.
Hello.
QAM, hello.
I'm your friend.
See? There we go. The callers suck. And, oh, we're never going to call again. Take the calls. Yeah, like anybody believe that? Like anybody believe that, Doron Granovsky? You chimp with an ear where your ass is supposed to be. He's sitting on it. That way when he farts, he hears it real good. Every time he opens his mouth, he's farting.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Ron. Hi, Ron.
You fairy.
875 votes on the poll. Who do you think won the presidential debate? Obama, 476. A draw, 155. Obama, by the way, 54.4% of this audience. Didn't watch it, 124. McCain, 72, 8.2%. And don't care, 48. 54.5% to 8.2%. And the CNN poll overwhelming. The MSNBC poll, which you'd expect because it's a commie-liberal pinko network, overwhelming for Obama. The only polls that McCain won were like that one guy said, the Fudge Report, which I only take their word for it because I believe. And IOD took a poll, the Nazi station. The Nazi station. They fire out poor Footy Across, whatever his name was, Chris Cross's brother. They blow his ass out, and they don't say anything about it. That's the thing about this business that really frosts me, because as lame and pathetic and horrendous and grotesque as he was on the air, he was absolutely downright toxic. But in spite of that, he's been on the air for over 30 years in this market. You realize that his departure, his firing at IOD, guess who that leaves now as the dean of South Florida Broadcasters who's still on the air? Now that Rick Shaw hung up his mic. That's right.
Neil, God.
32 and a half years. And still puking it out.
That's Mr. Dean to you, dummy.
Yeah, that's Mr. Rogers to you, neighborhood. Here's one that says, oh, please add Howard David to the poll. I don't think so. Mo Howard David, the greatest sportscaster of all time. He was good. Not by the time he got to the Dolphins. He was no longer good. He had no idea.
If you put him on there, he'll do well just because that's a name.
I'm not putting him on there. I want to have it like a real poll. I'm not going to insult all these other great sportscasters by putting Mo on there because of these people's doy obsession. Doy. I mean, it's funny, but enough doys is enough. Too much noise with the doys. This says, Neil, I could have sworn I saw George sitting alone in front of Coco Walk yesterday. Was that him? Yep.
I wasn't sitting, and I wasn't alone. I might have been sitting for a little while, but there was a crowd of people there from WQAM and American Express.
Also, did you hear that it looks now like Nick Saban will be making a triumphant return to South Florida? Nobody cares. I don't care. I don't care about Nick Saban. I don't care about the Orange Bowl. I don't care about your caca-moo-moo crap.
Names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
This is the same guy said add Mo to the poll. Grow up.
Sports leader.
The biggest names. The best talent.
It's the Mad Dog.
Paul Newman's still dead, by the way. Any interest?
560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Howard David's a bitch. It's late at night, you're fast asleep, and a shadowy figure is about to break into your home. But you're protected. Yes, it's the James Brown Home Security Alarm. The hardest working alarm in the safety business. Designed by the godfather of home protection himself. The James Brown alarm protects you from burglars, vandals, peeping Tom. And if you act now, we'll include at no extra cost the patented James Brown Hot Pants Fire Alarm. So put the Soul Patrol on your keyhole with a James Brown Home Security System. You'll say, I feel good.
Oh, there's Sarah speaking in Ohio. You know what Sarah needed? The whole patrol.
Ooh.
Call 16 at 560.
Problem. They are a priority.
She looks just like that chick from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Here's an email that said, boy, the emails are coming through like crazy today, in spurts, you know what I mean? Like right now there's nothing on there, but I got a pile. And it's a good thing because the calls still suck. We just did a little check on the calls today to see if they still suck. They do. So all you people who said, oh, we like the better with the calls, you know, cocksahois. Well, I'll tell you what, all you people who like the calls better, email us your phone number and we'll give them out on the air so all those chronics can call you. And you can have a blast all day, every day, 24/7. What do you think? Good idea?
An excellent idea.
Yeah. And then you can have your own show and talk to, hi, Rod. Hi, Rod. I'm your friend. I'm your friend. Probably not many have heard him because of the small market he's in, meaning Buffalo. But the best radio sportscaster I've ever heard is Rick Jenneret. He's on there. One of the few announcers on the radio. Well, they simulcast. He's on radio and TV at the same time, where you can actually picture the game as if you had TV on it. Rick Jenneret is spectacular. He is great. Let me give you the list of what I got so far. Since we're doing that poll for tomorrow. Well, what do you mean, right? You don't care.
I don't.
No, you don't care no matter what the poll is. You don't care.
Right.
889 on today's poll. We're going to do 1,000 just for Fat Chris.
891.
891 just for Fat Ass Chris and his 40 cents an hour. And don't even get to eat free food anymore. Boy, well, you know, you guys are such a bunch of wimps. If I was you guys, I'd have get all the people in that building together.
If you were us,
I would have threatened to sue that son of a bitch.
If I were you, I'd open up a big mouth, and if you were us, you'd keep it shut.
Yeah.
That's what
I would
that's
not.
what it would be. Yeah, right.
How do you think I got where I am today? By keeping my mouth shut?
Well, the climate was different.
By having a big pair of balls, okay?
That's right.
And you'll see when the book comes out on October 17 or whatever the damn day is, you'll see that since you were on most of the summer, and we're still going to have by far and away the highest numbers on this horseball radio station. You got some clout, you didn't even realize it.
You're right about that.
Well, that's the problem. Cowering in the corner. Oh, jeez, I'm so scared. Joe gave me a dirty look today in the hall. And, of course, Greg Reed conditioned you for that.
Yeah.
He sliced your nuts off. People think that operation you had, that vasectomy, that was the first slicing. That was the second slice. The first slice was a lot deeper and a lot more thorough.
The unkindest cut of all.
That's the one. The Greg Reed slice. Who is or was the greatest play-by-play sportscaster of all time? I think I've got a pretty impressive list here. Al Michaels, Kurt Gowdy, Mel Allen, Red Barber, Vin Scully, Rick Weaver, Bob Prince, Foster Hewitt, Bill Hewitt, Danny Gallivan, Harry Carey, Van Patrick. Van Patrick used to say, Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Eagles. He was a big fat guy. Huge. He's dead. Ernie Harwell, Dick Enberg, Pat Summerall, Dan Kelly. Another big fat guy. He's also dead. Jack Quinlan. Jack Quinlan, nobody is going to know who that is unless they're from Chicago. He was the Cubs announcer back on the radio announcer in the 50s and early 60s. He was better than Harry Carey. He was better than any. He was great, Jack Quinlan. But nobody's going to know who he is, so he won't get any votes. Van Miller, John Miller, Joe Bowman, Rick Jenneret, or Fred Cusick. That's my list so far. And we don't have Joe Zagacki on there. And you want to know why?
Joe Zagacki sucks, okay?
Okay. Anybody I conspicuously... Well, of course, I could ask Chris. He doesn't know from... The only sportscasters he knows is Jimmy Syphilis, Dave Van Boring, and Joe Zagacki.
Mark Vandermeer.
Yeah, he was pretty good. He wasn't the greatest sportscaster of all time, though.
No, he was very good.
He was good. He was no Joe Zagacki. Joe Z. He can't even say his own name. I'm Joe Zagacki. I'm Joe Zagacki. He's like a munchkin with a penis face. Here's one that says, I'm a letter. Now, this is very disturbing. Maybe you guys can help this guy out. I'm a letter carrier. I listen to your show using a Walkman-type radio. You come in clear until about 11:30 a.m. when all of a sudden your signal disappears. I have to crank up the volume to hear anything. What gives? How do you like that? 11:30 in the morning, our signal disappears. What do you think?
Maybe it's a pattern change.
Sounds like sabotage to me. Anybody else out there have signal problems after 11:30 in the morning? Maybe that's when his pacemaker starts crapping out. Maybe that's when his hearing aid, the batteries start running low.
Mighty
low. Well, we'll find out. Neil at neilrogers.com, by the way, is for the emails, and we're getting just a ton, a bunchkin from the Munchkins today. Tons, which is good. Just like I predicted, this thing is growing like topsy. Oh, McCain and Palin in Ohio.
Security on your family and working Americans
He
first.
still looks like an angry old man, like a real curmudgeon, like a nasty old coot with a bad temper, and his finger on the button. See, he wants a chance to get in there so he can... And you people, Johnny Brasco, as if I don't already know this about the unmentionable one being disbarred, why don't you people stop sending me crap that I've already talked about and already know about? What is wrong with you? They think I live in some kind of a cocoon, like a butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
Like a caterpillar.
In an ivory tower, all disconnected.
Jesus, God Almighty.
Isolated from the rest of the world.
And Noah floated the ark, too, yeah.
In the frozen winter hinterlands.
God.
Of Canada.
Let me read this. Oh, Gugats. Gugats, you're chronic. Get a life, okay? Go out and play in the streets. Play Russian roulette for a couple hours. 6 chambers, Maryland chambers. 9:03 on your poll already, Chris. And it's only 12:22. It's only 12:22. My God, this show seems like we've been on for about 15 hours already, doesn't it?
Yep.
And then, of course, that thing with the phones. I don't want to say I told you so.
Oh, geez. Yeah, but that's because you don't know how to do a talk show. You see.
That's right. I don't screen the calls. Well, screw that. That's boring. Boring. Oh, sorry, George.
No, no problem, man. Made me do it for like 12 years, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you what?
Screen them freaking calls.
Oh, you don't like it?
I don't like screening them.
Then why do you make Chris screen them?
Because I don't like him.
Oh, I don't blame you then. Here's one that says, first Hank, then they were trying to push you out the door. Joe Bell sounds like he's as sharp as a bell, as a matzo ball. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried bringing Footy in as a poll consultant for Neil, for God's sakes. A poll consultant. Counsiltant. Some of you people are so illiterate that it scares even me. Hang around as long as you can stand it, Neil. I look forward to your show every day. Love you, Neil. Gugats. Go away, Gugats. Go away. You bug me. You're almost as annoying as that Gary G. creep in New Orleans. Over and over and over. Oh, I'm sorry for all that. And that Sal Biondo, who at least finally cut the crap and apologized for his incessant Obama propaganda. I don't need any more propaganda, okay? The best thing we got going for Obama is this.
It's exactly what got us into this.
Yeah, that old coot. Insane McCain. That performance in Friday's debate went over like a pregnant pole vaulter in the equator in the middle of July. Vicky says, Oi, Happy New Year.
Oi!
I'm checking in late today, and quite frankly, I'm amazed by the results of the poll. I can't believe that many people think Obama won the debate. I plan to vote for him 500 times, but I don't think he won. No, I thought it was a lot closer than a lot of people did, because I viewed it, tried to be objective. And if you didn't watch it, so if you could have seen the MSNBC coverage, you would have thought, with Olbermann and, what's her name? What's his name?
Rachel Maddow.
And by the way, don't tell me it's Maddow, because they pronounce it Maddow and Maddow right there on MSNBC both ways. They don't know how to say his name. But you would have thought that McCain started drooling and fell down on the floor and hyperventilating. No, seriously, by their analyzation. It was so biased that even I was embarrassed. It put Fox Noise to shame. Anyway, it says, it made me furious that the doddering old fool kept saying a million times what Senator Obama doesn't understand, and Obama didn't kick him right in the dentures. He should have at least taken away his polygrip. If the Democrats don't grow up here and fast, I'm afraid we'll be lost again. Well, I hate to break the news to you, Mr. or Mrs. Vicky, or I'm glad to break the news to you, but the latest poll that just came out, the latest nationwide poll, Obama's 8 points ahead. I had that story in my pile here somewhere, but I got so many emails, you know. What do you think is more important, the emails or those bedtime stories?
Oh, the calls.
On a completely different note, she says, will you please tell me who the guy with the eyes is? I've been listening since the 80s, but somehow I missed him and heard you mention him again last week. Thank you. He's just another closet queen.
You fairy.
Who's got an obsession with David Cassidy. He's got a David Cassidy blow-up doll. He's a lifeless, he looks like Frankenstein on a bad day. He looks like Herman Munster on a very bad day, yeah. And shows up at all the appearances, even though he knows we hate him like poison. Didn't he show up at Gulfstream or not?
I believe so. I forget, too.
If he did, he was one of the normal ones. Compared to,
I'm your friend. I'm your friend.
Well, I wish. Oh, in fact, I know how I can do it. I can send it over to Prozac Ron. I mean, to Ron Duran. Because I've got him in my deleted emails here, and I can send him Joe Bell's number. And he can call Jolly Joe on his cell. No, he can call Jolly Joe on his cell phone and at home, and he can go, Chamba, Chamba, about 400 times a day. See how Joe likes that?
Oh, Lordy.
You love it, Joe. He's a hoot. So funny.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Yeah.
The sports leader. Oh.
M-O-N-D-A-Y-S-U-C-K-S. We're going to get you, Clarence. The Lynch party's coming. 2:30 this afternoon. They're going to drag your ass outside, hang you from the fag pole. Clarence.
You fairy.
Idiot.
CDs, that's no way to do it. Just download music on the MP3. Don't pay no money, that's no way to do it. Music for nothing, pay no royalties. Now Napster's working, here's the way you do it. Cable modem so you won't wait. Maybe get a download of a song by Sting. Maybe get a song by Dire Straits. We gotta install 20 gig hard drives. Gotta install some memory. We're gonna piss off bands like Metallica. We're gonna piss off everybody. See the little geek stealing music with his laptop. Hey buddy, that's no Bill Gates. That little geek, he got his own Palm Pilot. That little geek is just a big cheapskate. We gotta install 20 gig hard drives. Gotta install some memory. We're gonna piss off bands like Metallica. We're gonna piss off everybody. Alright. Now they ain't paying. That's the way they do it. They're stealing music with the MP3. That ain't legal, but everybody does it. Music for nothing with the MP3. Music for nothing.
A bunch of mutant goyim are standing behind John McCain there in Ohio. Mutant goyim. And just wiped the snot off his nose. You see that?
No. Watching Spanish soaps, man.
Some people might have thought it's sweat, but it's not. Harv says, here's a joke. It's kind of cute. Oh, and it's got the same picture of the two dogs. So obviously, P.D. Lenny stole that picture from somewhere else. The dogs with the
these things,
the
they make their way around the internet. So
right,
that's
right.
5 copies of everything from everybody.
And then he sends it around to everybody else like it's his creation. Go away, P.D. Lenny. You bother me badly. Badly. A lot. A man bumps into a woman in a hotel lobby, and as he does, his elbow goes into her breast. They're both quite startled. The man turns to her and says, "Ma'am, if your heart is as soft as your breast, I know you'll forgive me." She replies, "If your penis is as hard as your elbow, I'm in room 221. Didn't like it?
It was all right.
Cute.
I'm going to try that out on the next
Not
time
as
I'm
good
in the
as
elevator.
that chicken, garlic chicken with snow peas. Huh?
That was bad.
It was bad good. 921 on the survey, and Obama kicked ass in our crowd.
The choice was clear.
Yeah, that's
Dear to dear to dear.
Yeah. Between a doddering old fool. This thing from James in New England somewhere. Oh, James, you bug me, James. Bother me. I know you love dogs, so I'd like to know your opinion about this, please. Massachusetts will be voting on this issue come the November 4th election. The state is proposing to either eliminate or retain dog racing altogether. I think what he really means is to retain it or eliminate it altogether, but nevertheless. The argument to ban dog racing here is because some owners are drugging their greyhounds with cocaine, so I looked online for proof of this, but found only that this was in Florida. According to the Tampa Tribune, more than 100 racing greyhounds tested positive for cocaine over the past 3 years at dog tracks across Florida. They're also arguing that some greyhounds are dropping dead on the tracks from cardiac arrest or injured in some way or even paralyzed, but those in favor of keeping the dog tracks say there are more injuries in regular sports than there are in dog racing, and that these dogs are seen regularly each week by a veterinarian to check and maintain their overall health. You know who are always behind these things? The PETA people.
Mm-hmm.
The crazy PETA people. I do love dogs, but it would be like saying let's ban horse racing because sometimes horses get injured and there's a lot of drugs that are used and they have to be put down. Horse pucky, that's what I say to that.
So, Ramon's the designated winner today. And rounding out the field is number 6, Personal Edge.
Boy, if this guy don't sound like he's on doggy downers, you ever hear
sure
a voice
enough,
like
right?
that?
Poke that guy up.
Wow. Woo! And they argue, too, that the dogs are kept in inhumane cages with barely enough room to turn around. But back in the day before it closed, I used to go to Biscayne Dog Track, and the dogs I seen caged there were in cages larger than those I'd ever seen at the Dog Pound Humane Society. The dogs I seen caged there. The dogs at Biscayne also appeared happy to me. They appeared happy. Yeah, I used to go down there by the rail. Here comes the bunny, and there goes your money. And I suspect that these greyhounds had fun racing there. Yeah, sure. I phoned and spoke with a rep at one of the dog tracks here in Massachusetts. He said the cages here were pre-approved by the Massachusetts Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, which is the organization now trying to abolish dog racing. Lastly, they're arguing that there aren't enough people going to the dog tracks anymore, which is true. And the tracks are losing lots of money, becoming more of a burden to the state of anything. Less than a year ago, the tracks tried to have slot machines installed, but the Massachusetts Senate denied the request. Well, that's pretty sad because even in Florida, even in a stodgy state like Florida, they got slots at Hollywood Dog Track. Boy, did you ever drive by there? Wow.
All the time.
That neighborhood is just, woo, what happened to that place? What?
It's cheap touristy, man. It's bohemian.
Bohemian?
Sure.
As in slum?
Excuse me.
Neil, as somebody whose opinion I respect, on US 1, if you tell me that that's bohemian.
It's the way it's always looked.
No,
man.
it is not.
No rent tourist area with cheap French Canadians and stuff like that. But
well, that explains it.
Yeah.
Neil, as somebody whose opinion I respect, can you please tell me, what do you think about the matter? I don't care. If you lived here at this time, would you vote to close down all the dog tracks in Massachusetts? And Adams, Mass, James, no, I would not. I like to gamble, okay? I like the dog. In fact, I used to go to the dog track quite often. And then, like everybody else, I stopped going. You know, it just became boring to me. First time I ever went to the dog track, I won $700. I had no idea what I was doing, how to bet. I won $700. I told you that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, pari-mutuels are all dying. And without the slots, forget about it. Forget about it. Without the schlots, man. Where's the quarter schlot guy when we need him? So we can blow his brains out if we can find him. Stick the gun in his
rectum.
Because I'm sure that must be where he's hiding him. Oh, and when you hear this, oh, my God. This is sad from Chef Sparky. I think Chef Sparky needs to pay a visit to Old Sparky. Can we fire it up just one last time for old time's sake? Did I mention Godfather was on again yesterday? Let me see if it's on that channel again right now. I hope not. The Matrix is on. With that closet queen, Keanu Reeves from Toronto. When's he coming out? Meet the Robinsons. Is that about Eddie Robinson? The brave one. You ever seen any of these?
No.
How she move, and away from her. Well, like I said, no Godfather. Anyway, Chef Sparky says, hey, Neil, I just want to put in my vote for Jiggs McDonald as the best play-by-play voice in South Florida in history. Oh, but that old hack? Jugs McDonald, you must be a sick man. On the Jimmy Syphilis thing, yeah, he's not very stimulating, but teaming with Mad Dog and Little Dog makes it worth a listen. Oh, Jesus, God. This is what happens to people when they've been cloistered in Florida all their lives, especially South Florida, and they never get out. They never get out of the house very much. You feed them dog poop, and they say, oh, my God, that's the best Chateaubriand I ever had in my life. That's like prime filet. Oh, James Lewis, who's a Haitian guy now living in Atlanta, says Paul Newman should have won the Oscar for The Verdict. Greatest performance ever by an actor. Did you see The Verdict?
Maybe I did. Would have been a long time ago.
Maybe I do.
Maybe I do.
Maybe I do. I didn't see it. I don't think Paul Newman was the greatest actor in any movie, although I didn't see it, so how the hell can I judge? I just was not a big Paul Newman fan. He was just, okay, he was just there. He was kind of like, what's his name, Kevin Costner.
Okay.
Well, that's a shot. Not as boring as Kevin Costner, but close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Low-key, boring. Like Footy. Footy got canned, by the way, at IOD. He's gone. They replaced him with another Nazi. All Nazi radio, IOD.
The biggest names, the best talent. It's the Big O, Orlando Alzogari. Afternoons 2 to 4. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Yeah.
The sports leader. This is G. Gordon Liddy, and they don't come any worse than Neil Rogers.
.45 at 560. No, the interesting part of it is when Dave Lamont, Mr. Fart and Smell, when he got canned at IOD, we had a little bit of commentary about that. There were some people all bent out of shape, and people want to know what the hell was going on. Now that Footy got blown out, there hasn't been one email, there hasn't been one call. And by the way, I apologize for taking the calls.
Okay.
That was a bad mistake. In fact, here's an email that says, those couple of calls you took made me want to stab myself in both ears. I agree wholeheartedly. That's H-O-L-E. Wholeheartedly. Won't happen again soon. Maybe someday. Never say never. But we took that poll on Friday and over the weekend, and almost half almost a third,
Yeah.
I don't care got a third, and the emails got a little more. Emails won, but not by much. Calls. We want the great calls, Neil. Well, and when we get some, we'll let you know. Tracy and Kendall, who obviously need some very serious help. Our good friend Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
She says, my vote for tomorrow's poll would be local Heat sportscaster Eric Reed, who you call Mushmouth. No, I never called him Mushmouth. I said he talks through his teeth. Shevin, oh, Shevin, oh, Shevin, like Larry Kent used to do. Oh, Shevin, he's affected. He would be very good if he didn't do that affectation thing, but he does do it, and that, as a result. And the idea that you would call Eric Reed the greatest sportscaster of all time indicates to me there's a real... And here it goes. I think he does a great job even when the Heat was the worst team in the league. Also, Jim Mandich may not be the best, but he's entertaining to listen to. There's only one problem with that, Tracy. Jim Mandich is not a play-by-play broadcaster, okay? He doesn't do play-by-play.
All right.
Oh. Will Ferrell does a very funny imitation of Harry Carey on his Best of SNL DVD, as well as a hilarious Jeopardy skit. You can Netflix it. Have a great day. You too, Tracy, but you know nothing about this. Stick to stuff you know something about. Who is the greatest play-by-play sportscaster of all time? Not the best color commentator, not who wears the flashiest suits like Don Cherry. There are so many people out there wandering around who are toxic.
Okay.
I'm not saying Tracy. Tracy's just clueless on this topic, that's all. She's just trying to be, lend us a helping hand. 939 votes on Fat Chris's poll. He knows 1,000 is in the bag. It's in your grasp. 941. Of course, we had a head start. And this is one of those, if it didn't get 1,000, that means we're out of business. Remember I said that earlier?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're still in business, but just barely. There ought to be like 2 million votes on this poll. Especially with that tremendous promotion we're getting now. Remember one of those emails? I forget what it was, but they're like doing something.
Are they?
Sandwich board, something like that. Not the station. One of the listeners.
Oh,
that's right. It was on the thing about the HD radio, I believe, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, at the end of it, it said Neil Rogers, WQM. What was one of the comments to that article, which means nobody will read it. Michael says, first, Jim Lehrer was terminal the way he was trying to get them to do it with each other. Second, that first section on the economy was absolutely terminal.
Absolutely.
Message to McCain, which Barack should have delivered. Our banks and financial markets aren't failing because of pork barrel spending in Congress. Not that pork barrel spending is a good thing, but that's not what we're about to have Great Depression too, says Michael. Good point, Michael, and that's what he should have said. All that crap about pork. Even on Rosh Hashanah, I wouldn't mind having a little pork, like a little bratwurst. Bratwurst.
Sure. Or a pork chop.
Poke Salad Annie.
I will.
Who did Poke Salad Annie? Billy Bob, Jim Bob, somebody like that. Poke Salad Annie, rednecky song. Not as rednecky as Jimmy Buffett, but you got it? Poke Salad Annie? I know you got it because you played it.
Oh, yeah. Tony Joe White.
Tony Joe White. All right. Is Tony Joe White?
No.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to wait until that song gets popular enough to be on one of those greatest hits, all-time marginal hits, one-hit wonder. I wonder.
Some of y'all never been down south too much.
Nice.
I want to tell you a little bit about
Wasn't
this so that you understand what I'm talking about.
What are you talking about, Tony?
What you talking about, boy?
I don't think he's white.
Down there we have a plant that grows out in the woods.
Then I shouldn't have said boy.
Looks something like a turnip green.
Okay, that's enough. Poke Salad Annie. I didn't hear Linda Ronstadt's name on the poll. Would you please add her to the list? But we're not doing that poll yet. I just mentioned the fact that, somebody sent in this poll or that poll or whatever about somebody's poll. I wonder if Brady Quinn is listening.
You fairy.
Oh, God, was that a horrendous game or what? Chris, did you see any of that? Oh, nope. I just dropped my pile on the floor. Oh, no. Oh, a disaster. There's a space between the board and the counter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I got all my pile stacked up in front of me here, and it just, every once in a blue moon, about once every 4 months that happens, and I'm with my feet, I'm recovering the pile. With my feet, I'm retrieving it. Oh. You know what I need?
Help.
Cleats for my feet.
Oh.
There we go. I just got a big load of papers here now.
Got a big load?
God. What does this one say? Just wanted to let you know, George, I called in sick to work today. I'm sitting listening, and I'm about to fire up my bong. Well, that's good. Have a good time. Too much information. We don't care. Do we care? Like I said, America's attitudes about smoking dope is so juvenile and childish. And you know what it is? It's the repression. We're worried about the Big Depression. I'm worried about the repression. That bit we play, victim of recession, we're victims of repression is what we are. Here's one that says, gotta put Mo Howard David on the poll. No, we don't gotta, and we ain't gonna gotta. How do you like that? And let me say it again, Zach. Gotta go up and not down. That was the end of the Joe Rose show as we knew it. Joe was doing a fine job. And then all of a sudden, gotta move up and not down. That crap, that was the end. Zach is, he's still on the payroll over there. Him and Joel Feinberg are still meeting in motels around 3 every afternoon. Anyway, he was a huge D-bag, meaning Mo, but he was actually a decent announcer. The poll isn't who was a decent announcer. Name everybody who was a decent announcer.
That's what they do. Name a name.
Yeah, that's right. Give me a name of somebody who was, and some of these names aren't even play-by-play people like Mad Dog. Don't do a pizza topping poll because somebody already took the pizza. Doi. See that? That's this guy. Obsessed with Mo. Obsessed. Maybe we'll send you the Mo Howard blow-up doll. Or how about that keychain? I got it here somewhere. Oh, where's my keychain? Here it is. Now, I bet you're going to have to dump it if it's that one, you know?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. You see, that was okay. It wasn't the a-hole one. It was the a-hole saying it, but it wasn't the a-hole drop-in. Bruce says, good to hear you online. Up here, if you mention Lashana Tova, you'll get the phone number of Obama's local campaign manager. This is Richmond, Virginia, land of no great radio. Isn't that great? Wishing you a happy, healthy, and Ziza New Year. P.S. Can't wait for Sukkahs when we can all bench it, lay it, and bob on it. Yeah, bob on this. Oh, there's Paul Newman again from...
Based on the Tennessee Williams play.
Cat on a Hot
Tin Roof won Paul Newman his first Oscar nomination in 1958. Paul Newman would win his only Oscar in 1986. That's when he reprised the role of the hustler, Fast Eddie, in The Color of Money.
Great. Here's the guy with the bong. Boy, just tons of stuff. Oh, here's that article about the poll. Barack Obama leads John McCain 50 to 42% among registered voters in the latest Gallup poll daily tracking for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, just a point shy of his strongest showing of the year. These results span the time period since John McCain made the announcement he was temporarily suspending his campaign and returning to Washington to work for a bipartisan solution, which he had nothing to do with, by the way. In fact, he sat in the Oval Office, and according to all reports, he said nothing. And since congressional leaders first announced progress toward the resolution of the financial bailout bill. Bail out the rich, steal from the poor. The results also include one complete day Saturday after the first presidential debate Friday night. McCain had reached a point where he was tied with Obama earlier this week, but Obama's gained steadily each of the last 3 days' reports. Overall, Obama's gained 4 points over the last 3 days, while McCain has lost 4 points, an 8-point swing in the gap. The full impact of the debate and its aftermath will not be reflected in the tracking data till tomorrow, which will be based on interviewing conducted Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Still, Gallup's one-day read on the standing of the two candidates on Saturday suggests that Obama held a lead over McCain among registered voters Friday night, just as he had for the 2 previous nights. Bada-boop. Florida's neck and neck, by the way. It's nose to nose. But I'm sure that your Governor Limp-wrist Chris will find a way to steal it for McCain, just like they did for W. The fix is in. Just remember that if it's close, which it certainly oughtn't to be. But if it's close, they'll steal their third in a row. And the mainstream media will say, oh, my God, John McCain is the comeback kid. He came back to win the Republican nomination when they thought his campaign was dead, and he came back when they thought he was dead. And they stole another election. That's the only way they can win. You do understand that, don't you?
I do.
Keep as many dark folks home as possible and rig the machines, man. That's what we need to find is a good machine. That'd be a good poll to take. Where's the best place to find a good machine? In the voting booth or at the casino? At the racino? How's Chris doing at Gulfstream?
Who, where, huh?
Check out these drawings. They're drawn on a regular flat sidewalk. Google Julian Beaver and go to his homepage, says Jeff. Well, first of all, Jeff, there aren't any drawings. There's no attachment here. There's no nothing. Check out these drawings.
He told you to Google.
Oh, no thanks.
I don't like people that send me work. Talk about that.
Oh, look at this. Be fair, Neil, about McCain not looking at Obama. After all, Barack is a black man asking for change. Isn't that cute?
Yeah, very cute.
Spare some change, mister?
Biggest name.
McCain don't have any. He's paying for 7 houses and 13 cars.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
The biggest names, the best talent. You're listening to Sports Radio 560 WQAM. Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
It's the 1 to 2 hour.
Absolutely.
Anybody here seen Jack Abramoff in his orange jumpsuit and fedora? He screwed a lot of people, but thieves sometimes get caught. A garden variety neocon. Anybody here seen good Christian Dobson, filthy moral founder Khan? He's not convicted yet, but should be before he's done taking a Abram on that day. He was in some deep, in other words, duty. Anybody here, please say to Tom Delaney, Gornish Elfin Hogs ahoy. These kind of slime belong in Camp KY. Abram off Dobson and Tom.
You fair. 102 at 560 WQ. It's our big 1 to 2 hour. It's our lead into the
rock solid,
astonishing Big O. Astonishing only because he's still on the air. Here's an email that says, leaves Channel 10 to retire, then goes to Cheap Channel, and didn't he leave a woman at the altar, spelled A-L-T-E-R? Jimmy Syphilis? Yes. So what's the point? What is the point?
I don't get it.
He didn't retire. He didn't do it. Hey, Jimmy.
You fairy.
It's terrible. Just awful. Speaking of awful people, well, I'm not saying Jimmy's an awful person. He's just awful on the air. Terrible. Grotesque. By the way, how about Footy? Anybody listen to Footy yet?
Who?
Footsie. And what are we going to do about those polls, man? I guess we're going to have to do those, although we did the one about the burger toppings. That was bad. It was actually good, I thought. Thanks, Brandon. Didn't you think it was good?
It was all right.
What about you, Chris? You think it was okay?
It was okay.
It wasn't as good as paper or plastic. Or the one that you did one time. What did you just say? What?
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 Yeah. And then I just had a whole bunch of stuff on there.
Oh, I got one. How about...
Why?
There you go. A sequel.
What? Why? Mm-hmm. How?
Right. Who?
When?
Where?
Which?
Who's your daddy?
Which? Oh, let's get that witch doctor. Let's get Sarah Palin's witch doctor hunting pastor. Looking tan and fit, wearing a suit and tie, former Broward Sheriff Ken Jenney walked out of a federal detention center in downtown Miami this morning to begin his life after prison. Christ, I thought he just went in. Didn't you?
Yeah. Wasn't there long enough.
The former sheriff left out of a back door just after 10:30 this morning and stepped into a black SUV. I'm just looking forward to being with family and friends, Jenney told the Crusher reporters, according to Channel 10. He gave no prepared statement, and after his comment about family, closed the door and headed off. Jenney spent 10.5 months in prison for corrupting his orifice, but Jenney, 61, must still serve another year under the supervision of the U.S. Probation Office. Rumors have been flying for months that Fort Lauderdale's Rothstein Rosenfeld Adler will hire Jenney as a rainmaker and lobbyist. As a rainmaker? Well, what does that mean, as a rainmaker? The Florida bar has banned him from working as a lawyer for 5 years, but he could hold other positions at a law firm. As a rainmaker?
I don't know.
Maybe he's going to be Rain Man. Scott Rothstein said today he'll call Jenney, but won't discuss a job offer until Jenney is ready. Right now, I think he really needs to constipate on his family and himself, Rothstein said. Rothstein said he had talked to Jenney about working for his politically connected law firm in the past. I always teased him when he was finally out of politics. I would suck him right back in, Rothstein said. Boy, what a line that is.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Rothstein said he and Jenney are longtime friends, despite the fact that Rothstein describes himself as a hard-nosed Republican and Jenney is a longtime Democrat. Rothstein said Jenney would be a perfect addition to his law firm, which does political consulting on both sides of the aisle, but is more entrenched on the Republican side. Self-hating Jew. But today won't be a day of job hunting for Jenney. He's going to kick back and relax, said his son, Evan Jenney. Evan said that his phone had been ringing off the hook since 7 a.m. from friends and relatives checking in on the Jenney family. You call him?
No.
Joke. What a absolute puff piece. In the Herald, of course. Puff piece. Somebody for the poll for tomorrow on the Sports Yackers list. Bob Prince with an exclamation point, as if he's not on there already. What is wrong with you people? You think I should read the whole list again?
No.
No. They do that to us all the time. All the time. Maybe if we put some of the names on there like 4 or 5 times, then they'd get it. What about Kirk Gowdy? I had an email saying the same thing.
Yeah.
And then Eric Reed. Oh. How about Greg Reed?
There you go.
Greatest schlockmeister of all time.
Now you're talking.
Robert Goldman, your friend from Kfar Saba, Israel, says, Happy New Year, Shana Tova. Taking the time out from running around like a chicken on acid. to wish you all very happy and healthy New Year's from all of us in Kfar Saba. Shana Tova. Well, thanks a lot, Robert. And for Ehud Olmert and Ariel Sharon, who ain't feeling too good. Kaksahois. How's Ariel doing? He's still in a...
What? Vegetative state? Yeah.
Oh, he's in Florida? What the hell was her name that was in the vegetative state? I forgot already.
Terry Schiavo.
Terry Schiavo. See? Forgot.
I know.
We have to suspend Congress. We have to go back and... oh, God. The media makes it possible for them to do these asinine things. The media. You people in the media, you're crazy, you're sick. You're responsible for every unnecessary death in the world. All the dead soldiers, all the dead Iraqis, all the suicide bombing victims. In fact, I think that's what the suicide bombing is all about, to protest the damn media. Wouldn't surprise me. Be enough to go to CNN with a damn bomb stuffed under my belt. Walk in there right in the middle of Wolf Blitzkrieg. I just hope Jack Cafferty ain't in the same studio. They're not in the same studio, right?
I don't know.
No, I don't think they're even in the same city. I think Cafferty's in New York and Wolf is in Atlanta. Good place for you, Wolf. I hope the Goyim come and lynch your ass. You farbissin. Here's one who says, I don't know what the actual title is, but here you go. You're going to go nuts. You're going to go crazy when you hear this.
All right.
Not sure what the actual title is, but can you add 100 years of history to Neil's noises? Haven't seen it on... And
sure.
Listen.
I know.
Haven't seen it on any of the best of discs, and there's no telling when, if ever, you'll have a new disc. Thanks.
That's right. Never. There is telling when.
100 years gone by is the name of it. The answer is no. We can't add it to Neil's noises. And no,
right. And if we could, we wouldn't.
Right. Oh, but we want to have... Just like the guy that wants speaking in tongues. Is there any way for me to get it? No. No.
Listen to the radio, beg nicely.
Listen when we play it again. I'll play it again in a couple minutes. All these people who think that we're here, it's like comedy bit on demand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want it. Well, you're not going to have it. There's no way to get it.
Right.
No way. Lauren says, I know you've been a fan of Burton Cummings for a long while. Yeah, until I sat next to him at Woodbine, and he acted like a jerk. And won a lot of money, too. That machine man, him and his daughter or girlfriend, whoever the hell that chick was, their machines were like just spitting out the coins. That's back in the coin days. Just pouring out the money. And I'm sitting there plunging my guts out, feeding a dead machine, which I used to do in the beginning. That's one thing I don't do no more. I learned my lesson. That's why I win a little more often now than I used to, a lot more often. Because I don't feed a dead machine man. And I'd get a spin, which would usually be like $25 or $30 on a wheel of torture. Oh, he's got another one. Oh, he's got... And I just wanted to like reach over and just shove about 15 of those coins right down his throat. That would have fixed his voice pretty good. Anyway, Burton Cummings has a new CD coming out November 4th on Election Day before my birthday. Not sure if it'll be only released in Canada, but it's on Sony BMG. Why would it only be released in Canada, Lauren?
Because he's Canadian.
Oh, I see. So, in other words, Avril Lavigne, her music is only released in Canada?
No, she's a big star.
And Rush?
They're big stars.
Oh. 2 cuts are being released simultaneously. One of the songs we just came from the USA is pretty decent. The link to the Sony e-card site above is 2 videos of him recording. Anyway, thought you might be interested. Love your show. Thanks, Lauren. He's an a-hole. But that don't mean his music isn't good. He's got a great voice. In fact, shouldn't he be on the... What's the question again? The best voice? No. The most beautiful voice. Now, I wouldn't say he's got a beautiful voice. Beautiful sound.
Gay.
Yeah. How about David Gates?
Sure.
He had a beautiful voice. Oh. Melts like butter. You got any David Gates in bread or without bread? No, not
I got David Gates without bread or with bread. You tell me how you want your
bread.
David. You know, I know you're on the Adkins, so maybe you want him without bread. So here it is without bread. Just by himself.
He didn't have any hits without bread.
Yes, he did.
He did?
Sure. Two hits. This is one, and the other one is The Goodbye Girl, which I won't play if you held a gun to my head. There.
Get out of here. We had to go through all of that for that?
Yeah, that was it. You want some bread?
Give us some bread. Give us our daily bread, for Christ's sakes. That was a beautiful voice. Sounded spastic.
Do you have a favorite bread?
Yeah. M-O-N.
You fairy.
D-A-Y-S-U-C-K-S.
Absolutely.
Hello.
I'm the general manager of this radio station. And today is Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. In an effort to celebrate religious diversity and promote goodwill toward other faiths, we've brought in a member of the Jewish community to offer our Jewish listeners a greeting for the new year.
Hey, Happy New Year! Hey, that's it. Go home. Okay.
They're back, your favorite Jewish rock and roll nostalgia band. It's Rosh Hashanah with their greatest hits album, Sock Hop at the Synagogue.
My rabbi's back, he's gonna circumcise my baby. My rabbi's back.
Yes, Rosh Hashanah is reformed to bring you 12 kosher cuts of hop and Hebrew hijinks.
That joy isn't good.